Maybe I'll start in 5 minutes, see if anyone joins us. I'm here now, so not a problem. Let me have a look at a few things quickly while I wait. Order flow. Let's have a look at the order flow quickly. Let's see what's going on. Again, heavily bullish divergence on this range, liquidation here. So that's pretty good. It's good to see that. Bullish divergence, liquidations. We like those. We lost daily open. We have to recapture daily open for continuation. That's really important. That's we're above the VWAP. That's good to be above the VWAP. Come up to the single prints. Found a little bit of resistance at the single prints. Okay. That's good. We're probably going to go up, huh? Looks like it wants to go up. All right. All right, let's have a look at the charts from square one, from the beginning. Let's go to Bitcoin, have a look. Let's look at the volume. Really important to have to look at the volume. I had a long conversation with a friend of mine, a crypto friend of mine yesterday. We were discussing the next few months, and I think I have an idea. I think just if no one's going to come, I'm just going to talk to myself. That's fine. That happens when you talk to yourself. It's good to have an audience, but I haven't done a morning stream in such a while, or an afternoon stream. I guess it's Saturday and people are looking to go out and not stay at home. This is the index. Let's look at this one, which is, oh my god, look how much shit is on my chart. Oh, there you go. That's my trade plan. Fuck me. Good luck. Oh my god, what do I do? Just hide it all into trade plan. Is that a trade plan or is it a prediction? I call it rename. Let me call it prediction. It's fun to make predictions. I think the rest of this stuff. Oh, that trend line's nicely broken. That's good. There you go. He's hit the one-to-one. It's come underneath it. We had a little head and shoulders pattern there. A little breakdown coming back into the neckline. One-to-one down. Hello, I've got someone here. Welcome. Welcome. I'll have to have a look at this EW count. Get rid of these, get rid of all of this. Get rid of this stuff, and that matters. Get rid of all of this. So we can lower. And keep that. Ended up doing that. I was finally able to clean my charts up. Can you believe it? So if you're here, say hi if you want to. And then I can kind of start. I'm just cleaning my charts up for the second. Just getting rid of all this old data, mostly irrelevant. Oh, that's interesting. Don't have to say hi. You could just leave me to the sounds of silence. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is really interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Interesting indeed. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of all of this shit. Shit is shit. It's good to get rid of stuff. Because you can just redo it, huh? It's good to redo stuff too. I hoped more people would come. I was just spamming my Discord. All right, let's start then. There's no one here apart from one person who's quiet. So I've cleaned up my charts. I'm just going to start. I'm going to have a look at this charts. I haven't looked at it since Thursday evening, actually, properly like this. I've looked at it on my phone, but not really properly analyzed it like this. Had a little conversation on Discord yesterday about certain things. So if you're joining me for the first time, you're welcome to join our Discord. I just chat a lot, basically, and you can ask questions there. I never private message people. If anyone does, they're pretending to be me. They're probably scammers, so just be careful of that. And don't respond to them. Just I always chat in public. I don't chat in private. So just be aware of that. We had a really nice pumper. Pump to the moon. Pump all the way to Valhalla. I love pumps. Who doesn't like a pump? A good pump. We like pumps. We also like Trump. The Trump pump is the man. We don't like that he launched his own meme coin and didn't send us a memo. So we didn't get rich. No one got rich. God, that would have been amazing, huh? Some guy like bought $1 million worth and he's made like $90 million. Shit. How amazing that is. How lucky was he? So let me check the volume. Oh, we have a little change. Not much. Very slight change on the range. See that? We're kind of coming into kind of relatively low volume areas now. So it could get a little bit kind of more up and downy. When you're going through, we've actually sliced through this area very nicely. We've come back to the point of control. Back test, nice back test. It could have got bearish here, but it didn't. It just went up and up and up. This is corrective. We're in a corrective move now. I kind of want it to be bullish corrective, to be honest with you. I don't really want us. We could go down like that, and that would make sense to go down to back test the value area high. It would make sense. It's a tricky one because when you go down, sometimes you can get breakdowns and then it starts to show weakness, you know. And so ideally you want continued strength. You don't want weakness. You don't want the price action to be weak. We have had a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. You can clearly see it. Everyone can see it. Mohan, welcome. Influence launching meme already bought reg negativity because the tokens dump. All right. Yeah, it's so annoying, huh? Well, they took profit, huh? If you do a 90x, you're gonna take profit, aren't you? I would. So annoying, huh? It's a bit annoying. So, little head and shoulders pattern, breakdown, neckline test. Coming back into this midpoint of this channel. We're in the top part. So there's a little bit of resistance. Trump just flipped a coin today and launched it, and it holds a level. And if it holds a level on the tank, then it's good. But if the USD present token, I don't know if it's going to dump it. I think a lot of people are looking to get involved in that because it's his official coin. It's probably his best business venture in his whole life, isn't it? Probably. He's probably done better in one day than the whole of his life in his property empire, property business empire, probably. Yeah. Amazing, huh? It's amazing. Amazing to be that famous, huh? I can't really do TA on the Trump coin because what TA is it? It's just one candle. How do you do TA in one candle? Is it even possible? Is it possible? Don't know if it's possible. MT911. I like your name, 911. That's what we all want, a 911, huh? 911. MT911. 15-minute chart. What a joke. It's got good liquidity, huh? $465 million worth of liquidity. Shit. Fuck a duck. Fuck a duck. Fuck a duck. It's fuck a duck time, huh? What the fuck is this? Fuck a duck. Like, there's no way we could. I was asleep. We were actually at 2 a.m. I wasn't asleep. I could have bought some, huh? Fuck. But I don't even know how to buy these shit coins, huh? It's already up 4,000%. It's done more in, like, here we are struggling with TRVL, and this has just got all the action. It's a tricky one because how can you buy this? You could, and it could go up and up and up and up and up. But at the moment, you're not really looking to buy this. You're really looking to buy the next this, huh? Really, like, realistically, how can you buy here? You can't. Yeah, but if you do get like a drop like this, you could buy that. And or you could wait for the retest. You see here you have got a nice wick. You see how some people bought and sold, and actually the price came to retest the wick. The wick was a good place to buy. These red wicks are a really good place to buy. This is a 5-minute chart, dude. Where's the next red wick? Well, we don't really have one. We don't really have red wicks here. They're the best places. So if you're looking at these charts, you're looking at candles, you're trying to figure out the best place to buy the red wicks, the red ones. Be very careful that it's the red and not green. Yeah, you don't buy green wicks, you buy red wicks. And where's a good place to sell? You don't sell red wicks, you sell green wicks. Okay, that's the rule. It's a rule. I made that rule. It's my rule. Okay, but it's going to save you so much pain if you follow that rule and do nothing else. Yeah, if you wait for the price to come to a red wick and buy, it will save you so much pain. And if you wait for the price to come to a green wick and sell, it will save you so much pain. You don't have to do it with the first wick. It usually comes back for a test. Yeah, wicks usually get tested. Usually is the operative word. Not always, but usually wicks get tested. Usually, so there's a high probability that when you see a wick, it's going to get tested. You see on this time frame, you have a red wick. You don't sell the red wicks, you sell green ones. Okay, You're not looking to sell that red wick. You're looking to sell. You're not looking to buy the green wick. You're looking to buy the red wick. So every time frame has its own structure, but you have to be patient in these time frames. You can't just be. You can't be. So you see, 4-hour time frame. There's no red wicks, but every single 4-hour candle is a continuation candle at the moment. Every single one. These are continuation candles. At the moment, you've got decreasing volume. So I think the next big buy is going to be the next big 4-hour dip. The 4-hour dip is probably going to be the first opportunity. I'm just looking at the 2-hour. So you see the 2-hour has no red candles. I think the first kind of, like, you have to look at these candles, start from the beginning, yeah, from the 1-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, you work your way up. You're looking to buy the red candles, but the best buy is going to be the first chart that you encounter where there is no red candle. So 1 hour has a red candle. There's no technicality about this. The first red candle was the best buy on this chart, wasn't it? That's what people are waiting for, the first sell, the first 1 hour sell. The 2-hour chart doesn't have a red candle. That probably will be the next big buy, the first 2-hour red. So you have to wait now. You have to wait for the first 2-hour candle. You have to wait for the first 4-hour candle. You have to wait for the next, there is a way to make money, but you have to be patient. Yeah, have to be really patient. First 1 hour red candle was a really good buy. You go into that 1 hour red candle and you start getting these 15-minute wicks. Yeah, you could break it down to 30-minute wicks. There are no 30-minute wicks, but you see that was the first 30-minute red candle. Have a really nice reversal here. That's a piercing green. That's a bullish reversal. The next one was a green candle. That's your confirmation. And then the next candle was a 30-minute buy, just because you had this piercing green candle and then you had a continuation with this other green candle. So you could look at the candles and try and buy, but you have to be patient. You have to wait for the right setup when you're looking at candles. Otherwise, I don't know how else you could buy this, because it's so difficult to buy this and not lose your money. And naturally what's happening is people are buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. But on a higher time frame, we've just launched, is the first daily candle. The probability is that we go up tomorrow as well. I think on balance, the probability is that we go up. The question is, how do you buy? Do you wait for the pullback or do you buy the pump? If you buy the pump, you could just make money. But if you buy and it pulls back, do you sell, or do you just keep on buying? Generally speaking, you don't add to weakness. Yeah, you add to strength. Yeah, you're not adding to weakness, you're adding to strength. Red candles aren't weakness. Red candles are usually take profit candles, usually in this context when you have an uptrend. Red candles not weakness. Red candles in this context are opportunities to buy. But here you see the price is pulling back. Do you buy that candle? No. Yeah, you're not buying that candle. You're looking to buy the red wicks. Yeah, so the next kind of opportunity here, as long as we don't lose these wick lows, would be another red wick here. You could buy that. That's just, you have a really tight invalidation and you expect the price to go up. If it goes down, you get invalidated. Yeah, that's really the only way to play this game. But that's assuming this hasn't locally topped out. And if it has, yeah, it might have. You don't know, because again, this 1 hour time frame, we've got this red candle. It's closed underneath 50% of the previous candle body. Yeah, it could have topped out, or it could just be consolidating here, because technically that's the candle in question. This is the inside candle. It'd be nice to just come back here one more time to go up. That would be nice. But again, with trading, you just have to be patient, and if you get the right opportunities, you could get lucky. But you have to have small invalidations with these type of tokens. I think my opinion, and there's no point doing fibs and stuff, really. There's no point doing volume, because I can clearly see the volumes at the lows. I'll do it. There's no point. check what am I doing. Oh yeah, I'm looking for volume. Yeah, you see it's at the lows. Not much volume either. So that's the other problem. It's got a really high market cap, but relatively the volume is low. Relatively, the point of control is right at the lows. The value area high is there. That will change as volume comes in. Effectively, what we need is a test of the value area high. Whenever that comes, and remember, as volume comes in, this volume profile changes. I think technically that's your first big opportunity in the context of this chart. And the thing is, let's just say hypothetically this continues to pump and pump and pump and pump and pump. The volume profile will change, the value area will change, yeah, but your opportunity will still be the value area high. The first real opportunity will still be the value area high, but the value area will change. And so you just have to keep on updating the volume, keep an eye on the value area high wherever it is as the price moves. And then when you're looking for an opportunity to buy this, you're waiting for the price to come back to the value area, react off the value, wherever the value area is, react off the value area high. If you see a reaction, that's your opportunity. And you could wait for a red, like a 1 hour candle, red candle. You could wait for the wick. I prefer that because for me that shows a little bit of a reaction. And then I like red wicks. Yeah, I don't like green wicks. I sell into green wicks, I buy into red wicks. Yeah, you could. Is that a green wick? Of course that's a green wick, but the problem is you have a continuation candle, so it means the 4 hour candle has closed higher. That means it's continuing. If this 4 hour candle closes lower, yeah, there is a chance that the next one is red. Then there is a chance that actually the next candle is going to be a red candle here to go down. And then if you get that, you have to wait for this to reverse. You need some buying wicks, you need higher lows. There's a few things that need to happen. Really what you want to see is the first big profit take before you buy. So we haven't really had that because now the volume has dropped off. If people are interested in this token, maybe that people are just waiting for the first big dip. And you got to be careful because if you have moved impulsively, if I don't know if this is a wave is complete, if this is a wave and if it's completed, who knows? Maybe it has. Who knows? No one really knows. Maybe it has. Maybe there's a wave. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's your 5. Who knows? Maybe that's your finished wave. Yeah. Then you're looking for an ABC. That would be nice to get an ABC. So if you see an ABC anywhere, sometimes it can be the first drop can be 5 waves. Sometimes the first drop can be 3 ABC and then up. Sometimes it can be 5 waves followed by 3, followed by 3 like that, followed by up. But that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for a little correction on this time frames, yeah. But at the moment we're not getting it. At the moment, you know, we're just getting continuous buying, buy. So the pump continues, and you just have to wait for it to correct. And really, that's all you can do. I personally wouldn't FOMO in, even though it could go higher and higher and higher. I wouldn't do it because how high? Like if you go up to $70 now, you've only made 200%. The most of the gains have been made, from the launch. Most of the gains have been made from the launch. So that's kind of my guide. It's a total gamble. I agree. I think if you want to gamble, there's better gambles. But the thing is, this is on the spotlight. This has been launched on many exchanges. There's a lot of people seeing unhealthy profits. Why aren't they taking their money and moving it to something safe? I don't know. So, you know, degens who gamble, they don't stop. They just continue gambling. That's my update. I don't have good news. I hope that helps. Probably doesn't. But if you're looking for an entry, I think that the next entry is probably going to be the next 2 hour red candle, because for me that's the next candle that hasn't printed red. See, I like when you get in these kind of crazy impulsive moves. I like these when you get these green. I think the next opportunity will be the 2 hour red. If you're looking for slightly medium time frame, you could wait for a 4 hour red. and then you could just take that higher and higher and higher until you get to the first daily red. Get first daily red. That's your real opportunity, because that's your first big take profit on a daily time frame. And the problem with a daily red is the minute you form a daily red, the real opportunity, if I can draw, let's just say hypothetically, I can't draw. Why is it not drawing? Oh, it's because I'm doing lines. I'll give you an example just so you understand. Let's just say you get a daily red candle. Let's just say hypothetically tomorrow we just get a red candle here. And it's a red one. It's all the way. Oh, shit. What's going on? Why is this not drawing? I don't know what's going on. Just refresh this. Sometimes TradingView really likes to bug out. Let's just say you get a daily red candle. See, I don't know what's going on, but it's not working. The point is, you get a daily red candle down to here. Let's say you buy the bottom of the red candle. You have to take profit at the top of the red candle. That's your range, yeah? And while people are expecting pump, 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 traders like to trade the ranges of these mini ranges, you know? Traders don't like to hodl for higher. Only gamblers hodl for higher. Traders actually take profit at the tops of ranges. They sell at the tops, they buy at the bottoms of ranges. Yeah, so you almost have to decide, what are you going to do? You're going to trade, or you're going to just buy and hodl and gamble for higher. And then once you do that, do it. You know, don't change your course and see what happens. But let's look at Bitcoin. There's a few people here. Mohan, welcome. Anyone else? MT1911. Did that answer your question? Are you a little bit content, or do you need more explanation of analysis? Because there isn't any for a new launch token. We've got the value area here. We've had a really nice clean back test of the Trump pump point of control. We're coming into this midpoint of this upper part of the range. We've had the first big take profit. We're getting the first pullback. We've come to find a little bit of support off these highs. Really nice to see. Do we get some kind? Is this move over? I could analyze the move, but actually I really wanted to just, I mean, it's still bullish, it's not bearish. We're getting bullish divergence on the chart, on the order flow. We're getting bullish divergences on the range. I'm not seeing bearish divergences. There was a little bit, but nothing to write home about. Across this drop, we had the liquidation down. We have bullish divergences. This is kind of what you want to see in this drop. We got bullish absorption, liquidation. Generally speaking, we're back above the VWAP. I think it's quite healthy. If we reclaim the daily open, then I think we're probably going to go back up and probably continue, probably. And so that would be the next real, like, you could always long the VWAP if we don't lose the VWAP and let the VWAP be your invalidation. But the next real sign of strength here would be a reclaim, a reflip of the daily open, which is also acting as the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. If the price gets back into the head and shoulders pattern, this is the bearish pattern. Remember what I said before? Invalidated bearish patterns is bullish. Sorry, it becomes a bullish pattern. So invalidated bearish patterns, i.e. this head and shoulders pattern, is bearish. If you invalidate it with a reclaim of the daily open, then this pattern becomes bullish because it's an invalidated bearish pattern with a sign of strength, which is a reclaim of the daily open. That's a sign of strength in this context. And then you're probably going for higher. Initially to the top of the highs here, but probably you'll get a squeeze and you'll get a little bit more of a continuation. And I think the charts support the idea of continuation. If we do find a little bit of strength here and get back above daily open, you see where daily open is. This is correct. You know, the candles coming back down. This is the limit coming back down to there for continuation. But what the candles come down to do is come down to, it has to come back down to test. If you imagine that this is going to end up as a green candle to the upside, then just imagine where we've come down. Look where the candles come. That's come back down to find a back test of that daily level. And now the price is working its way up. You flip the daily open into support, and then the price will go right up to the top, and then you'll probably squeeze through, and then you're right on the brink of taking out the all-time high. Okay, it has to happen level to level, and you have to see if the first sign of strength, which is a reclaim of the daily open as support. So that's kind of where we are right now. Could you long here? You could try, but the actual long is going to be a reclaim of the daily open. That's your long, really. You reclaim a previous range. That's your previous range. Get back into the previous range. You have a back test for support. That's your long. That's your invalidation would be to lose it. That's your invalidation. You don't want that to happen. If you lose a neckline after you reclaim it, you can short again. You can short, you can long. Like, that's a good thing about these very definitive areas of interest. If the price finds support, you can long. If the price loses support, you can short, and you have a very clear and very tight invalidation. Yeah, you could short. If you could wait for the short, or you could be aggressively long. You can do both. If you were to short, then you're looking for a corrective pattern like this, down to the Trump pump value area high for a long there. That would work because you have a bullish harmonic in play. It's a Gartley. There's lots of Gartleys these days, isn't there? That's a very correct bullish harmonic coming back in to test the Trump pump value area high. Okay, would you short to go down there? You could, but I think it'll be a lot easier to see if we got a fake out here for a loss, because it's also with the bullish divergence, it's hard to short because you can just as much, this could not actually play out. You could find support here, and then you're actually working your way up. There's no bullish harmonic here. It's just bullish. It's just bullish, you know, it's just fucking bullish. So you just have to contemplate what happens at this neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. Because we're seeing bullish divergences, I'm inclined to think that the price actually wants to continue going up, squeeze the shorts, get back in. But just remember that we are at a level where you could short if you find weakness here to take it down to there. But actually that's your real long, because it's a bullish harmonic. It's a corrective, some kind of corrective ABC. The actual long would be a reaction of the value area high and some kind of failed auction or swing failure of this pivot B. You could wait for that. That's your long there, reclaiming that pivot. Yeah, that you could start small and then, but actually enter properly. If you see correctly, you end up with a lower entry just because you started small. You start small and it continues. You don't lose much. But if the good thing about starting small is that if you start small and you build on it, and then it actually does that, and you keep on entering, you actually end up with a much better position without actually risking that much initially. Okay, so when you're longing, it's always good to start small, and just in case the price fucks you. Yeah, rather than going big because you think that this is going to pay out. Every idea can fail, and if you have that objective, you have that mindset, then you never go big. You always start small. If you have it in your mind that everything can fail, every idea can fail, then you never go big, because you're not going to go big if you're not going to risk your home even if there's a 1% chance of failing. You'd never do that. You'd never do that. because you'd be homeless. If you fail, you're homeless. Yeah, only gamblers do that. So we are at a really critical level here where the price could reject. Could it be more like this? It could, huh? It totally could. I'm not crazy about that idea because that would be, it doesn't really look like a Gartley then. This would look better. But even with this, like I said, with this bullish harmonic type idea, I think I would actually prefer it if we just go up and up. And the reason why I'm kind of in that mindset is because of the daily candle close. With a really strong close. It's, as far as I can tell, it's a really bullish continuation. We've already had the take profit in the first instance of the candle. That's the wick. The second part is the second part of the take profit. Yeah. And now I think I just want to see the price find some strength and basically continue. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. I'm not expecting it. I want it to happen. If it doesn't, you might end up with some very similar situation as this here, where it's kind of, it's not the same, because here there's no wick, whereas here there's a big wick. The wick, if you close like that as a hammer in the high, is a red one, the wick could still prove problematic. Yeah, so we do need a little bit of strength to take us up. See here in the 2-hour candles, we have continuation. So at the moment, it's looking like it could go up, but we just have to put in higher lows here and go up. Okay, I can't tell you if it's going to go. It just looked like it could go up. If we don't see any bearish divergences, we're not seeing actually locally bullish divergences either, but we are above the VWAP, so that's at the moment. At least we have that. The D open is going to be something to contend with if we want to go up. Okay, it's hard to long this. It's hard to long. It'd be a lot easier to long if you see a little sign of strength and reclaim that neckline. Okay, so that's kind of BTC. I'm inclined to think that we just go straight up, to be honest with you. I mean, it is possible to just range here before we go up for a few days. I think the market is so ultra bullish. This V-shaped recovery is so bullish. That's the first test. We could just kind of smash up. I don't know, I'm just making this up. So at the moment it's looking good. We're above the value area high. Things are looking good. Doesn't mean ETH is looking good. And I think this is what I really wanted to talk about, because everyone is expecting alt season 2.0 or alt season, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to become a billionaire in 2 days, alt season. And there are signs that we're still good, because some tokens are pumping, you know, some altcoins are just popping, pop, pop, pop. When I look at my list, I do see lots of red, but then sometimes I see this dupe is up 21%. You can't get that when things are weak. You can't get those kind of price actions. Solana's up 10%. You don't get those kind of pops when things are weak. Look, Fartcoin up 24%. Yeah, when things are weak, you don't get that kind of price action. Everything is weak when things are weak. When things start popping, that just tells you actually we're not really weak. We're just kind of maybe consolidating. Things are going a little bit sideways. Yeah. Now, if you want a crazy, I wish there was more people here, because I've got a really important thing to talk about. I'm not going to make a video of it because it's my secret. My secret. So I wonder if a few more people can come, and then we can just have a conversation about this. Or maybe I should just talk about it and make a snippet and just post it in Discord. But fundamentally, my idea is about ETH BTC. Let me talk about TRVL first, and then we'll talk about ETH BTC, okay? Because I think maybe, and also Zeph. Someone wanted me to have a look at Zeph. in the Discord. And let me just message him. I'm having a look at it now. No. Oh, it's what is ours name in chat in YouTube? Again, it's a tricky one because you've got so much volatility. People get really bullish when it goes up. They get really bearish when prices come down, not realizing that that's how that's how you make money with these big swings, these big ups and downs. And so you do have to take profit. It's not easy because when you're looking for a swing long, sometimes you don't take enough profit. Right now, Zeph is looking like an inverse head and shoulders pattern right now. Okay. That's what it looks like right now. I think there is a chance that this corrective count, I updated it 1, 2. I have to update it because initially I thought it was this one, that was the first wave. But in hindsight, I thought because we actually took out this wave, we actually took out these lows with this move, with this drop here. I thought, well, actually, this was a really impulsive reaction. So the impulsive reaction makes me think it could be corrective impulsive, like that, like a corrective before it wants to go down. That's also possible. But because it's been so impulsive, I'm just assuming it's an assumption that we haven't invalidated, and actually the first wave was here, here, and here, with this kind of big corrective move here, ABC. Then you have the wave, kind of the wave 3, whatever, the final 5, and then this whole thing, ABC. This whole thing was a correction. This whole big thing was a correction. Yeah, you've come all the way back down to find support at these lows without taking the all-time low, without taking that out, and you've had a bullish reaction. So I am possibly thinking this is the first wave, just because of the context of some things like Trump and the altcoins and stuff like that. It's quite speculative, my ideas here, to be honest with you. That being said, on the weekly time frame, we are in possession, and we have to see how this weekly time frame candle closes, but we are potentially in possession of a bullish engulfing. We've already had almost a 50% pullback from this bullish engulfing top, but it depends now on how the week closes, because if you end up with a bullish engulfing weekly candle at the lows here, that's extremely strong candle, extremely strong reversal pattern, a bullish engulfing weekly candle at the lows here with a bullish impulsive reaction from the lows, potentially forming the beginning of a wave 3, potentially. And then we have to see what happens next over the next week. I think if it's bullish engulfing this week, it'll probably continue to next week with a bullish week, probably. That's the probability of how this price is moving. So, and also trying to get back above this point of control is good. It's never easy to get back above a point of control. Sometimes it is. You see how we're coming back for a test. This is like big take profits. We're coming back for a test. We're slightly underneath it now. So really what you want to see, you don't want to, I mean, it is possible that goes down. Depending on the wider weakness on ETH. I think ETH is really important. So this is naturally because of ETH, isn't it? What happened to ETH last night. It's always good to take a little bit of profit. Sometimes we forget, or sometimes we get greedy, or sometimes we have a swing and we're just looking for higher for the whole of the duration of bull market. But I'm about to share something with you with regards to that you might find interesting. I just wish there was more people here, so I don't have to maybe repeat myself so much. But I might have to go over it again in the future anyway. Yeah, ETH BTC here is well, look, what's happening to ETH is quite interesting. We're coming back to test the neckline here. We've taken the liquidity from these lows, probably with a big liquidation. We've taken the liquidity from the highs with a failed auction, liquidation here. There's been no support built in this range. We've come down quite quickly. We got back above the golden pocket. The second time, I thought maybe that would be it. We could hold. That's what was required for continuation. Yeah, but it never happened. It never happened, and we fell right back. So there was some big leverage that was wiped out in this drop. But we are back to potentially support levels. You have back test of levels. You've got that daily level there. That once we get back above that daily level, this will probably go up. Okay, so that's probably the most important level for flipping, and it will probably correspond with the Bitcoin daily open. So this is the level of interest. This one, this daily level. We have to get back above it. We tried once. If we can get back above it there and actually flip it into support, we almost tried, but what happened? People who were leveraging had their invalidation there. They got wiped out. Now, if the price can get back above there again, then we have a chance to smash through and get right back up. And you end up going up really fast because we came down quite fast. People are looking at this daily candle. They're feeling really bearish. Yesterday we had a really bullish close. Who knows what today's candle is going to be like? No one really knows. Okay. Elon was, I think Trump coin will pass $50. I really don't know, dude. I'm not really sure. There you go. Look, that's the first big sell. That's kind of what you're looking for. Like I said, that's the first. You got a red wick now, potentially. What time is it? 15-minute time frame. Look, 1 hour time frame, red wick. Like I said, the red wicks are the good places to buy. You see, if you had orders at the red wick, you'd be in profit. You could take profit, you know. They're the right places to buy. The next kind of opportunity will be the 2 hour red candle, and then it takes a little bit longer when you're dealing with this slightly higher time frame candles. Yeah, but I think probably now that this is corrective now, you have lost some kind of steep idea, this kind of steepish trend line there. Oh, can't draw. Oh fuck, I can't do back either. Something wrong with this trading view. Yeah, you see that? So this could be an ABC type corrective. This could be the right place to buy. We've already come down to that red wick, like I was saying, and you see we're getting a little bit of reaction. But this candle might come back down to test. If we form a red wick, you might get another candle. You've got to wait a little bit now. Got to be patient. But I mean, a 2 hour red candle, the wick would probably be the first next opportunity to buy. And then if the price does decide to expand from $20, sure, maybe you could get to $50. It's possible, you know. Everything's possible in crypto. With low volume, you could go up for a double on the market cap. You could totally do that. Just be careful though, because the higher you go, the more profit these degens from the lows will be in. And if they dump on the market, this degen who jumped in the first 15 minutes, he's up 2,800%. If it goes up to $50, if he has the guts, then he's up 7,500%. And you know, that's when they do market sells, and they this is actually a really bullish drop. Why? Because the volume is high and the price has we've had a swing failure of these lows here, so it's quite a bullish drop. It means that someone has sold and the price is held. Someone has sold with big volume and the price is held because there's demand here for buying. There's buying demand. People don't market buy here. They're not market buying, they're limit buying. They're placing limit orders and they're absorbing the selling. So it's really bullish to experience that. You can see that it's bullish because here someone sold and someone has just market bought and taken the price up. This is really quite bullish what we're experiencing here on this token. Yeah, just food for thought. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just giving an opinion, and yeah. So yeah, so ETH BTC. And I think this is really important. Or maybe I'll go back to TRVL. I'll have a look at TRVL. So TRVL, we're experiencing the most unbelievable breakdown. Yeah. Is this the final shakeout, or is this a crazy breakdown that's we're never gonna recover from? Okay. Well, I just wanted people to, I don't want people to get burnt. I think it's a difficult thing holding microcap altcoins. I think the project, Dtravel's project, is outstanding. I think on the most part, the people are outstanding on the most part. I don't know all of them, so I can't comment on all the people in Dtravel, but I think the people are outstanding. Yeah. I think there's so many good things about Dtravel and TR and the ideas that I'm still bullish on the idea of decentralized short vacation rentals, etc. But the charts are not reflecting my sentiment. They're just not. Yeah. I talked about the idea of a potential quadruple bottom here, didn't I? But right now, we're struggling. I'm not bearish at the lows, but the problem with TRVL is that we're getting a breakdown on other charts. That's the problem. The problem is we're having a breakdown on some other charts, and I can't marry the idea of a bullish hold for a quadruple bottom and a breakdown on other charts. Yeah, if we got a quadruple bottom and we also got Dtravel against Bitcoin coming into some kind of finding support on a historic trend line that started back in February 22, which has been holding the price at the lows. If we had the confluence of the price coming into support on the USD chart and then the price coming in to support on the BTC chart, then I'd be a lot more confident about the idea of a quadruple bottom, which it was or is or could have been a possibility, could still be a possibility, but we'd have to fake out here. We'd have to reject from lower prices and come right back up. And the problem is that, and this is the problem, when you're dealing with these kind of low liquid micro caps, it's all about the community and the community's passion and absolute belief in the project and its goals. Yeah. And that has to grow. It's a growing sentiment. Yeah. The idea of the community growing, becoming more and more bullish, trying to catch every dip, hodling, never selling, because they have this firm belief that this project is going to be an unbelievable success. Yeah. And that has to grow. And as that grows, the token value will grow because you get more token holders. The token holders accumulate more, and just generally feeling the project is the excitement grows at a time when we should be potentially experiencing some kind of euphoric moment. where Bitcoin is at all-time highs, we're hitting all-time lows. We're on the brink of hitting all-time lows on USD, and we're already hitting all-time lows against BTC, against ETH, you know, against ETH. We've lost the lows here. I mean, just generally speaking, we couldn't go for higher, and now we're going for lower. We can't get higher, but we are going lower. This is TRVL against others. For a time, TRVL was extremely bullish against all other tokens. Yeah, because we had this crazy bullish engulfing candle in it, and it doubled up in size. Yeah, and then it rejected, so we basically went up against others. We went up 127%, and then we've now fallen back 70%. It's not an easy chart to look at and be bullish, because we're not holding any kind of low. We're having a breakdown. Yeah, this is a breakdown. This is in effect a sell-off. It's not a correction, it's a sell-off. There's no other way to describe what we're experiencing on these charts. The sell-off just hasn't actually materialized completely in the USD chart. The weakness hasn't yet, there's weakness, but we haven't yet materialized the full extent of the weakness in this chart. And that could become more evident as other altcoins pump. Yeah, the more altcoins pump, the more this could dump. While people are bullish, and then it might we might get some kind of corrective move to take it back up for a little bit. No one is going to buy on this weekly time frame. I can't see any candle here in the whole historic price action of TRVL where a really bearish red weekly candle like this was just bought right up for a V-shaped recovery. We don't have that. Yeah, this is the last big one at the lows, and then we got this, we went lower, and then we got this kind of bullish reaction there. The last one we got here, you see it was followed by a small green. So I don't know if people are expecting this to just suddenly go up, but the reality, we're not going to go up suddenly until we first get a weekly green candle to stop the price going down. That's the first thing that's required. So I don't know if we're just going to go up next week. I think if the rest of crypto starts to pump and this doesn't continue to dump, it doesn't necessarily have to dump, you know, like it could. We have had dumps. And when you're looking at the price action, honestly, it's the most bearish descent since token launch. And context is really important in the context of a bull market. That's not good. It's not really where you want to be. We really needed to break up here, find support here, consolidate here for a chance to smash through. Yeah. And what's actually happened is we've had a big rejection and we've just dumped. Okay, so we've had these rejections, these lower highs. You can break out of lower highs, but you have to hold, you have to consolidate. We needed a V-shaped recovery there. That would have been our moment of glory, a V-shaped recovery followed by consolidation underneath resistance for a chance to break out and hit and aim for 30 cents. Right now you buy at 22.4 cents. It's a great buy, but not if the sentiment of the community has dropped, confidence has dropped, and people are looking to exit. It's not. Yeah, and I think that's what really needs to fundamentally change. Oops, what have I done? Sorry. That's what needs to change, is sentiment, is community sentiment. I personally can't change that myself. I've tried hard to change the sentiment. I'm not selling, just FYI. I'm not selling. What am I doing then? Why aren't I selling? Why shouldn't you sell if the price is going to zero or whatever? Yeah, why wouldn't I sell? Okay. Well, first and foremost, if I sold, there's no liquidity here to get a good sell. If I sold here, this is the place to buy, really. Even though there's a breakdown on the charts, I'm not going to sell at the lows. I'm not looking to sell a breakdown. I'm not looking to buy either, to be honest with you. I'm just looking to, like I said in my previous video, just do nothing. Just ride it out. Ride out what happens, yeah? I think fundamentally there has to be some massive changes to turn this around. If people don't know what's happened in Dtravel on the community yesterday, the CEO, i.e. Cynthia, she posted some messages on Telegram to try and turn this around. Okay, and bless her, you know, she's trying, or she's tried, but we had a sell-off. It was her message was greeted with the sell-off. The last time a big announcement was greeted with the sell-off that I can remember, it was the new tokenomics launch back last March, whenever it was last year. Yeah, so when you get these kind of bullish messages greeted with negative sentiment, then there's no correlation between there's no support effectively. If people were bullish, they would buy, they wouldn't sell if this was bullish, but it's not. It hasn't been accepted as bullish. It's been accepted as uncertainty. Yeah, uncertainty, unfortunately, created by the price action, which initiates the uncertainty, but then it's affirmed by the way things are handled. Okay, now I don't think any of this is necessary. Honestly, I don't think any of this is going to work. Maybe we'll get a pump, but I think a lot of people who feel trapped will probably look to exit, probably in the next pump. You'd have to have an unbelievably strong buy volume in the next pump to get to change the sentiment. Yeah, and because a lot of people are looking to sell the next pump, and you need the buy volume to push through to make that happen. I don't know if short-term band-aid or plasters on open wounds have the capability of solving these problems, to be honest with you. And one of the big things for me is governance. Like, really the biggest thing for me has always been governance, and I don't actually think this is going to work. Yeah, Telegram votes are not the way to govern, because you still are missing the point. The point is giving TRVL value. Yeah, you need to give people who have accumulated or accumulating large quantities of TRVL value. The TRVL has to have value. I don't want, and when you say we're trying to figure it out, the right solution, it doesn't breed confidence in the current governance. That needs to change. All of this needs to change. Okay, and these buybacks aren't going to work. There's just not enough volume to make any difference in the price. And staking is generally a short-term fix. It's not a long-term fix. And actually what you're doing is, some people will stake just to mitigate, some people who aren't going to sell will stake just to, because they can, and they'll you know, but ultimately what happens is that people will sell, and they're not looking. So effectively you've got a crypto aspect of this project which is struggling, whereas the real world, the fundamentals aspect of this project, the real world aspect of this project is blossoming. Yeah, there's a disconnect between the fundamentals and the crypto. Okay, and we've had tokenomics updates that didn't work. We've had a reward scheme for marketing scheme that actually created bearish sell pressure, and we've had struggling communication and responses to what's actually going on, delayed or struggling. I think potentially it's too little too late to turn this around in this context. I'm not selling. I'm just going to ride it out. But the reality is, you have to give TRVL real world value, true value. You have to give people a reason to accumulate as much TRVL as they can. And to FOMO into dips, to degen into dips, because they truly, it's not about believing in the project, it's because they need this token. This token is actually gonna, they can make money, they can earn a living, they can actually change their lives with this token. We're not getting that, and so therefore you know, that's the truth. You know, now it was bearish before, we needed a V-shaped recovery here, we didn't get it, we lost them. Unfortunately, I was just waiting for this to turn around, but what's actually ended up happening is people have dumped their tokens because they've lost confidence. And now, even though this could be an opportunity to buy, the breakdown on the breakdown, unfortunately, the breakdown on these other charts really means that the next opportunity to buy would be a sign of strength, a little sign of strength, a little sign of recovery here. This is really crucial to happen. Like, it's really important that this happens first. We have a really historic trend line here against BTC. Really, that has to happen first before you can buy. You can't just buy that where there's a possibility of a breakdown. You just have to wait. We just have to wait to see if this can recover. If you see that, then you can actually, maybe it's not as bearish as we thought. Maybe we can buy. We'll still be at the lows. Nothing really changes. We'll still be at the lows. And in any case, on the most part, what people need here is a change of market structure for this to become bullish again. It could be some kind of bottoming pattern, which could take some time. Similar to what we've had here. This is a bottoming pattern. It took a little bit of time to form at the lows. We had a bit of a bottoming pattern here. Every time we've dropped, there's always been a bottoming pattern of sorts, or you're looking for a sign of strength, a reclaim of a previous range after the price has bottomed out. You don't catch the absolute low, it doesn't matter, because you're just mitigating risk. And if you do mitigate risk in the context of a Bitcoin bull market, who cares if you don't catch the price at 2.2 cents? If we get a bottoming pattern with a sign of strength, then you can actually, well, in this context, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because we're just going down. Like, it's, even if we do have a bottoming pattern, the realistic scenario here is you need like a change of structure as well. It's very different to this. In this context, this was a change of structure, and this was a reclaim of a range. This was, we had the little range, we had a breakdown, that was the reclaim, that was your the reclaim was your entry for higher prices. Okay, this was a change of structure, bullish structure. This was a change of market structure to bullish. And after the market structure changed, initially for the higher high, the price went up 200%. That's kind of what you're waiting for. You missed the bottom, the absolute Pico bottom, but then you're catching it when the momentum has shifted, the sentiment has shifted, and the price action supports that idea. So for people who are looking to catch the dip, it's a hard one, because I would normally say buy until there's no tomorrow. And maybe that will happen in the future. The market has to show us, you know, and that's really what I'm saying. I will buy too if the market showed me that this is a buy. If this is ready to buy, I would buy too. Of course I would, because we're right back at the lows again. If we get a reversal structure here, reversal pattern here of sorts, you're still, you know, then it will be a quadruple bottom, wouldn't it? And a higher low. Sure, you'd buy buy right up to 9 cents, or maybe slightly underneath. Okay, like 7 or so. The problem is that next big pump, that when it happens, will be a big sell opportunity for everyone who's looking to get out, to exit, if we hold the bottom here. That's the problem with that big pump. It would have to be an enormous, tremendous pump for higher prices. And I think in that context, most people who feel trapped will mitigate their risk, and then that will be a big take profit, the final take profit before before that, you know, before we actually probably go down again and have a breakdown, if that's what it wants to do. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just talking about the market and the sentiment. I think it's unlikely, because maybe February we can pump. I think the problem is that a lot of people now feel trapped. Yeah, they've been trapped in this range for a long period of time, and because of the bull market and the fundamental aspects of this project, they're feeling extremely bullish. However, the price action hasn't reflected that because of the fundamental flaws in certain aspects of the crypto side of the project. That hasn't been addressed. It hasn't been, they haven't been ahead of the curve. They haven't been aware, and everything now is sticking plaster or band-aid. I'm not fudding the project. I'm just being honest. You know, that's what I'm doing. We're right at the lows now. I'm not fudding at the lows. I didn't cause this drop. We're right at the lows. We're coming into the point of control. It's a really good opportunity to buy. But the reality is, you don't catch falling knives. Yeah. You could dollar cost average here a little bit. You could buy a little bit to dollar cost average. That's a good place to dollar cost average. But it's not, I'm not fudding the project by saying you have to wait for the reaction. At the moment, there's no reaction. There's no reaction here. And therefore, it's hard to buy. Yeah. If you get a reaction, you can buy the pullback. Yeah. And that's generally speaking how people buy. They don't just catch falling knives. They wait for the reaction, and then they look for a reversal. They look for signs of strength at their place of interest. So if you're interested to buy here, you could dollar cost average in a little bit. But because of the breakdown that we're experiencing in the other charts, I think it's a risky strategy. And it's definitely a terrible idea to sell, because, you know, you're selling, you know, you're selling where the price could potentially reverse. It's at a place where the price could reverse. It could reverse if things change, and things do need to change. And so we have to see what happens. We have to be patient. We have to wait. We have to be honest and open about our feelings. For me, the most important thing is governance. The governance needs to change. I'm not happy about the governance, because for 3 years, I've been one of the most active community members and supporters of the project, and most, if not all, of my ideas have been ignored. Yeah, unfortunately. And I think a large portion of that has got to do with ego and lack of experience. And I think throwing staking pools now, when I was asking for them exactly a year ago, literally, is unacceptable, to be honest with you. This isn't the right time to do staking pools now. We need to now go right back to the beginning and start from scratch. The crypto aspect. Personally, I think the tokenomics needs to be trashed. Yeah, there are aspects of the tokenomics that I like, but generally speaking, it doesn't give what we want, which is value for TRVL holders and TRVL, to accumulate TRVL, give people value, give TRVL value, and that's really where the flaw begins. And then also the governance, also, because if TRVL had value, then TRVL holders could allocate their TRVL to govern, and then people like myself who wanted some kind of different things or changes or some improvements or some accountability, instead of just make noise on YouTube, I would just buy more TRVL. I'd just accumulate more and more TRVL, and then my voice would be heard through the TRVL that I accumulated, and then people who didn't have TRVL wouldn't have a voice, and their voice wouldn't be relevant. Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. Whereas right now, opening up TRVL to Telegram and letting every Tom, Dick and Harry have a say, it still doesn't do what is required, which is give TRVL. Personally, I think the whole leadership structure needs to be scrapped. The project, the deep in part, is perfect. I love it. That doesn't change. And then we need to start from scratch. Marketing, tokenomics, incentives for hosts, incentives for token holders, and then probably, and this is probably the most important thing, I think we probably have to relaunch the token from scratch too. We have to scrap this chart, probably. I think that's probably the most important thing. we scrap this chart, unfortunately, 3-year chart, and just scrap it. I mean, it could be bullish if we had a bullish recovery, bam, and it would be really bullish if that happened. But unfortunately, I just don't know how people are going to be able to look at this chart and buy without selling. Traders, it would have to be a massive increase in volume, and then people would, again, you'd have to change the tokenomics. Okay, so that would be an easy way to just reset, and then the project would have to be properly launched. I'm not talking about announcements, I'm talking about razzmatazz, blitz, and all that kind of stuff. Lots of AMAs, lots of community interactions and question and answers, and that's not just a one-off thing, it's a continuous thing. Here I am on YouTube pretty much every day, streaming, engaging with my people, my community. You kind of need that with Dtravel. You need that to happen every day. You need that kind of interaction, that kind of a liaison, because that breeds trust and confidence, and that's kind of what's missing at the moment. So I'm not here to FUD. I'm actually telling people, don't sell, just wait, because I'm trying to see if there is going to be some change. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's going to be some change. And one of the other problems was that all of a sudden this chat was filled with bots. I think the bots have been turned off now, but it was a shame, huh? For a period of a few months, we just had lots of bots spamming Dtravel community. How do you know there's bots? Well, because when I look at the votes, bots can't vote. Yeah, and this one, there's only 10 votes there. There's 35 votes. That's 45 active community members who have voted here. Yeah, so all of the rest of the people who are just spamming every single day in, day out, were bots. Yeah, and that's a shame. It's a shame that we've resorted to these kind of this one 7 votes and 18 votes. It's a shame that we've resorted to bots to make it feel like there's an active community. It's fake. It's fake. Yeah, and that has to be turned off. We need real community. We need real people. They need to be respected, they need to be loved, and they need to be protected from these downturns. This last maneuver is not going to work, in my opinion, and unfortunately we need a serious shift of change, and it has to happen. It's just there's no other way. There's no other way forward. It has to happen. Am I creating uncertainty? No, I'm not creating uncertainty. The chart's fucking bearish as fuck. What the fuck? I didn't do that. A couple of days ago I said, don't sell. This is not a good place to sell. This is not a good time to sell. And people sold. So it's not me. This is not me. This has got nothing to do with me. Yeah, if people think this is me, it's not me. I'm telling people, don't sell. You could dollar cost average here. Okay, but fundamentally everything needs to change. And like, for example, the problem is, like, for example, Telegram. Look, where is it here? Look, someone is always here. Dtravel is a clearer pump and dump. It's not a pump and dump, but it does look like one. It looks like a pump and dump. Yeah, and it's a shame because November 23, I had a video meeting with key people in Dtravel. Yeah, I told them, if you don't make some changes, it's going to become a pump and dump. And I was ignored. They didn't listen to me. And that's just the way things happen, you know. You unfortunately. And the thing is, I didn't sell because I just wanted to see what happened. I should have sold it. I should have sold twice and bought back in, and maybe I could have bought back in again. But the reality is, I'm not here to save the project. TRVL has always been a hobby of mine. I do want to see Airbnb defeated, but right now, in the current trajectory, it's not looking like it's going to happen until we have a significant change in the aspects and the points that I've been talking about. Governance is really the most important thing, more important than anything. You have to give TRVL holders real value, and it has to start with governance. Yeah, your tokens must represent power in this DAO. It has to begin there. Yeah, if you can't do that, then this project will never succeed. You can't be Dtravel DAO and 3 years later have no governance and then put a stupid Telegram vote and say this is our governance now. That's rubbish. Okay, there's no intention. No one believes you anymore if that is what you're suggesting, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, but this is just where we're at. The governance needs to be changed immediately, and it needs to be given to the community now. Let the community figure it out. At least then people will start buying TRVL to have a voice, and we can stop this. And whoever's selling doesn't want to be part of the community anymore. They don't want to have a voice. And then if people want to have a voice and they want to influence the direction of the future, they're going to start buying. And then we'll see, then whoever's left are really the people that matter. And they're the people who care. And they're going to buy TRVL and they're going to have a voice. And then we can now influence the direction of this style, give it back to the community. I've asked for that every single time. I've asked for it to be given to the community. Give it to the community, let the community do it. We can do it. We've got smart people in the community. We got really good people in the community. And we're still having this power struggle. And the reflection of the sentiment is in the charts. You can't deny that. There's no quick recovery here unless we have that immediate significant change and shift with the governance. Once that happens, then we can start from scratch, minus the real world aspect of the project. That's really good, but you have to redo the tokenomics, because the tokenomics are on, unfortunately, it looks good on paper, but it doesn't do what we need, which is to give token holders value. It doesn't give them the value. You need to give them value, and it doesn't give hosts the right incentive to come to Dtravel from other platforms. Yeah, you need to target those two aspects. You have to make it lucrative for early adopters. You have to bless early adopters with the most gains. Just like in the early days of Bitcoin, the early adopters were blessed with the most gains. Yeah, any early adopter in Bitcoin has become a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire, and they're well rewarded, and no one is upset about that, because they're the ones who made the project succeed. You have to give, if you don't have a tokenomics strategy or scheme which gives your early adopters, which gives your faithful community the real rewards, the blessings of the real rewards, then your project will fail, because you're not going to breed the right kind of sentiment that is needed for people to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, aggressively buy the dip. Yeah, and you can't be too smart about this. You just got to go back to the simplicities of what is required to make this succeed. The only other way that this is going to succeed, if there's an exponential growth in the real world aspects of the project, and then you get some crazy growth there. But as we've seen, that growth is now slowing down, and the natural growth is kind of coming to a local top, and the incentive to the growth spurt hasn't happened, because, and you have to make that happen. Now, the only way you can make that happen is with aggressive marketing. You need to inject capital, you need money, or in the context of crypto, you need to incentivize it through the reward scheme, which comes through the tokenomics. The tokenomics doesn't do that, just doesn't do that. Yeah, I said it before, it just doesn't solve the problems of these early projects which require exponential growth, and it happens through the rewards. When I look at the token and go to the documentation, it's a nice tokenomics document. Honestly, it's not a bad one. Yeah, at the time the community welcomed it, but they sold, so they didn't really welcome it. Yeah, basically any token holder got screwed at the time. and the growth incentives didn't work to accelerate. It didn't work. None of this worked. None of this worked because this model is not suitable for what we need. Can I zoom in? Don't know if you can see it, but there's no incentive here. Stake to earn vault. Well, that hasn't even been implemented. But the reality is, how much do you stake? You have to reward people who add more TRV. Like, it's not going to work. Okay, the burn bin, it's not going to work. There's not enough value coming in. This is designed for a multi-billion-dollar company who already has a significant amount of income coming in on a like for a Dtravel ecosystem, which already has 1 million operators and 4 million properties scattered around the world. In that context, this could work and might be amazing, yeah. But in the context of a startup which is starting from basically zero, yeah, it's not going to work, and it isn't working. And because you're not rewarding hodlers, you're not rewarding hosts, and you're not making it lucrative. Lucrative is the word for early adopters. And that's the problem. The problem is that if we want to exponentially go up to higher prices, we have to give people a sentiment of, I need to buy as much TRVL as I can and I must never sell it. The tokenomics hasn't solved that problem. And this is actually part of the problem. Governance and tokenomics are part of the problem. And then obviously the marketing has struggled because it's a hard sell. It's not an easy sell. It's a hard sell. Yeah. And so therefore it's all speculative, and the speculation is based on the technicals of the charts. And so right now, in terms of the technicals, buy low, sell high, buy low, and we're kind of stuck. Do we bottom out here? Is this a bottom? Well, normally I would say yes, but it's very difficult to be a bottom when the rest of altcoins and cryptos are doing okay, or they're holding, or they're going up, or they're not falling, they're going up, you know, Bitcoin or whatever. They're going up. It's hard to say yes when the rest of cryptos is doing okay. You know, it's not doing terrible. A lot of them have come to the lows. That was fine, but then they've all had it. They're all holding their lows, or they've already gone up anyway. And the here TRVL is right back at the lows. Anytime you come back to the lows, you keep on coming back to the lows, and you're putting in lower highs, then it just tells you that next time we go up, it go a lower high. Every time people are selling earlier, they're trying to we're not getting the buying that pushing it through. It's struggling to go up, yeah. And actually, what probably needs to happen is a capitulation, and then it needs to properly bottom out here somewhere. And then even then, you're going to have a lot of trapped liquidity where people are trapped, and so even if you capitulate and recover, you're still going to get sell pressure. You're not going to necessarily get through that sell pressure unless there's a significant shift in the sentiment of the community and the sentiment. I don't know if people are just going to aggressively buy at lower prices if they've lost confidence, and that's also the problem, you know. Especially when the value of their TRVL has significantly dropped. And one project that really comes to mind, and it's really weird because I actually told them, I warned them, and they didn't listen to me. I actually went onto their Telegram. I said, look guys, this isn't good, this isn't working, I tried to help them actually, and it was called KubeCoin. And you know what they ended up doing? They ended up banning me from their Telegram because I was just trying to help them fix some of their problems. They weren't willing to listen. So forget about these line drawings because this is recently drawn. Basically what KubeCoin was kind of in this range here. It started to look bearish as it lost these lows. It made a low back in May. I tried to help them. I thought what needed to happen here was a kind of a recovery, and it just needs to stay in the range. It didn't do that, and then people dumped. You had this crazy breakdown, and it lost another 88% of value from the low there. That was a relief rally that was sold into. Has it bottomed out? No. This is also some kind of relief rally potentially. It could be, it's an aggressive buy. Okay, so that could be the beginning, and it's quite a high volume, so it could be the beginning of a bottom. It's certainly not the bottom yet. But the point is that a lot of people who accumulated this token are trapped in this range. And now the problem with this token is that if it goes up, you're going to get sell pressure. If it goes up, it's going to require really quite a lot of volume to get through. And you've got this kind of crazy sell pressure. In the context of bull market, you're going to get sell pressure higher up. You're going to have really bearish momentum. The momentum is to the downside on the higher time frame. And in the bull market, you can end up with a lower high. And then at the end of the bull market, in the bear market, you go right back to the lows, put another all-time low, and then there's no more interest in this token for another 4 years or 3 years or whatever. And effectively, the project is dead. Yeah, so it's like flogging a dead horse. And people think, oh, no, don't worry, this is just going to pump and you're going to have a V-shape. It could always do that. But it's not likely. It's not a high probability bet. Okay. It's not a high probability bet because we had a breakdown. We had a breakdown on the USD chart, and then other charts are, and especially it's really problematic when the rest of crypto is showing strength or other tokens are showing strength, and this isn't. And so the danger that we have now, it's an existential crisis, that TRVL is a significantly better product, and this is a shit product. TRVL starts to collapse. Do you buy? Maybe, maybe you do buy, maybe you do catch that dip and we do get a big volume injection, and maybe that's the dip that a lot of big whales are waiting for. Maybe, no one can really predict the future. It's always possible that we bottom out here, but it will take some time, I think, and I don't know what it would look like. I don't know how far we could go up, because this was when they launched. This was when an influencer started staking and he persuaded his community to do it, and it was just a pump and dump. We could get the same thing here. That really becomes exit liquidity for whoever wants to exit, I think. And you end up still in the same place because there's no liquidity, there's no buy liquidity to absorb the buying, because you're still struggling with the same problems, the initial problems, the lack of real TRVL value. The reasons why people will buy and hodl for higher is giving the token value, which it doesn't have. And so fundamentally, it probably does eventually need to capitulate. You probably need a capitulation here, probably, just looking at it. But the problem is the momentum, then, be it whether it goes up first and then capitulates or whatever, who knows. The problem is that now the momentum on the higher time frame, even though we were flattening it out on the higher time frame, this is the weekly time frame, you can see the momentum is actually quite flat now. The longer we kind of range down here, then you see the momentum's quite flat now. But the longer we kind of hold these lows and go down even further, now you start to turn these higher time frame momentum moving averages back to the downtrend. Yeah, and the downtrend continues. And that is an existential crisis in the context of a Bitcoin bull market, because people aren't going to they're going to be scared. You're going to scare people away if that happens. So the only real solution is a V-shaped recovery. Honestly, a V-shaped recovery here. It'd have to be a high volume V-shaped recovery, and it would have to go straight up to 30 cents. That's it. Initially, I think at the end of the month, to recover here, we need a whale effectively to buy and the price needs to close back above the previous month low. You just need to end up with a monthly green candle with a massive buying tail here. If that happened, you probably need about $2 million or $2.5 million worth of TRVL buying to do that in the context of the market cap and the traded volume. And that would be a sign of strength, a massive buying tail here. And then this kind of monthly 20 moving average is flat. You see it's flattened out. And then we have a chance. If we then hold that level for a couple of months for a consolidation, then the next time Bitcoin wants to do something nice, we could break out, and then you are looking at more of a quadruple bottom in that circumstance. If next month is green, it would have to be a bullish engulfing green like that, and people will sell into that. They would. And then you need to hold, you know, and the problem is if you don't hold and you just drop right back to the bottom again with another red candle, then actually it's going to then just drop them. And so there are things that could happen that could make this bullish, but then the problem is you still have a community spirit which is deflated and feeling, not, some people feel scammed, other people feel disappointed. I think eventually you almost need to capitulate and just find a massive swing failure with a V shape now, but I don't know if the community has the right kind of heart to do that, so therefore I don't want it to happen. I think we need some kind of fundamental changes. Ian Snow, hello. So anyway, so I think the best thing that anyone can do is nothing, and just be waiting and ride it out. I think eventually we will come to the right ending. I do believe that somehow good things come to those who wait, and the universe rewards the good and the patient. The project is a good one, but we have to kind of come to the reality of our difficulties and address them. And I don't know if I don't have confidence. Honestly, I'm sorry to say that I don't have confidence in these changes. These aren't enough. For me, these not enough. Governance is really important. That we need a relaunch. I agree with that. The staking vaults, I think it's too late, actually. I think we need to stop and not do any of them at the moment. Or it should be a temporary thing, like a 30-day thing. But it shouldn't be a permanent thing because it costs money for that, and we don't want to just pointlessly waste our money. Burning is a long-term strategy, but really it should come from increase in value, and not from desperate measures. And so the other thing that really I want to address is the governance, and actually this is unacceptable. Over time we will introduce a more formal governance. No, unacceptable. You scrap it now, and you scrap the current governance, and you initiate what the DAO wants, which is to become a DAO. That's what really needs to happen immediately. Unfortunately, that is priority number one. That has become priority number one because people have lost confidence in the current way things are done, and that is really important. Okay, and if that doesn't happen, then unfortunately you end up in a situation where your longest, most passionate community members leave, and you can't get them back. You just can't get them back. Once people leave you, it's very difficult to get them back. They would have to see a seismic shift in everything before they come back. Okay, I know I have friends who used to be invested in TRVL, no longer invested. Friends, they know me, they know my YouTube, they know my passion, they know everything about me, they know my Airbnb and everything, but they've left. It's hard to get those people back, you know. It's not enough for me to tell them, no, this is a good one, or this is going to be great. So yeah, So that's my, unfortunately, that's my TRVL update. Am I fudding? Well, if you think I'm fudding, then so be it. If you think this is the buy of a lifetime and you should just buy because we're going to go to the moon, buy. Show me. Do it. Let me see. Yeah. Just because we're back at the point of control, the problem is, I think when you come back, when you come to an area of interest, you have to come into an area of interest slowly. Yeah. Slowly. The minute you come to an area of interest quickly, too fast, yeah, the momentum is too strong to get the reaction you need. And if you're going to get a V-shaped recovery, it has to be from a significant low. It's not going to be from a higher low. It's going to be from a significant low. Yeah, that's really where V-shaped recoveries come from. They come from taking the lows first and then going up. Okay, so I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery from here, and the price momentum of the price is coming down too strong for me to be convinced that this is the bottom just yet. And so we just have to wait and see how this plays out. Any buying here is going to be met with selling as the longer it takes for the price to recover. And you can see these moving averages are trending, dangerously trending in a downward vertical direction. How do you fix that? You can't fix that if the price action is lackluster and the volume is minimal. Yeah, you can't fix that. And that's going to take a long time to play out. It's going to require aggressive absorption in these areas, and it's going to take time now. It's going to take time. It could take weeks, it could take longer. So that's where we're at now. Ian, welcome. You rich watching from the beginning, but BTC Pump is making me hyped. Mudang 50x, great buy. Oh yeah, more money, more spam. John Mackay, Billy. A lot of people are interested in their meme coins, though. Meme coin mania. We're in meme coin heaven, aren't we? It's just like a meme coin attack. Let's just look at all the meme coins. Meme coin, meme coin, meme coin. I don't really like looking at meme coins except Slurf, to be honest with you. I'm really bullish on Slurf. All these other ones have underperformed. In comparison to Slurf, which is actually following Solana. I don't really want to look at Mudang's higher time frame chart. I'm not really interested. I'll just look at this Binance chart because probably most of the volume now is on Binance. So probably Binance is probably going to move the market. Probably. I'm not going to look at the waves. You're wrecked on Slurf, even with how you wrecked with a 3x. I think this is a good place to accumulate because we're at the value area low. Yeah, we've had this kind of capitulation type candle. We are kind of, there's a big range here, but it's going up and down. We've come back into this daily level at the lows. We've had a reaction halfway down of this wick. That's kind of what you want to see, a little reaction back above the previous day low. It's kind of what you want to see if we're looking to bottom out here, probably. Yeah, it's very illiquid, and that's why you're getting these ups and downs. Yeah, that's a terrible 12-hour candle, to be honest with you. So it is possible to come up and then go down one more time before it, it hasn't fully bottomed out. Again, the momentum is pretty miserable here, so it could take some time, but technically it's a good place to accumulate because we're the value area low. But in terms of impulsiveness, you kind of need to get back above the point of control here for a chance to get right back up to the value area. That's really what we're looking for here, to kind of just go right back up to there. Is that the next wave for the big massive move? It could be, or not. I want to talk about ETH BTC because I think that's really important. Let's have a look at Billy. I don't really know, honestly. I think we're getting a good reaction down here, so potentially this could be the low of the day. But right now traders are in charge. They dominate the markets. Traders are winning. Everyone else is struggling and traders win. I don't really know much about Billy, to be honest with you, so I can't really comment. It looks very similar to Mooding. It's probably a Solana coin, except that you haven't had the same kind of reaction as Mooding. So it's a little bit weaker than Mooding. You see that? On Mooding, you actually had a swing failure of these lows. This is actually still struggling to recover. So again, the momentum is strong to the downside. This is on Mexi. Maybe I should look at it at Radium. Can I look at it at Radium? Let's have a look. There, Radium. Let's have a look at that one. It's better, isn't it? Yeah, not really. I think, look, there's another low here. Just be careful with this token, because you kind of want, look, with this token, you kind of want to see the first impulsive move first, so that you can buy the first pullback into support. That's kind of what you want to see with this token. So while you might feel brave and strong to just try and catch the absolute low, which most people do and get wrecked every time they do that, because it keeps on going lower. Really what people here are waiting for is the first impulsive move to buy the first corrective dip. Similar to this one here, you see, you could have caught the bottom here, but you didn't need to. You could have just waited for the first move and then waited for the first big correction into support, and you would have had a much safer entry, because you could have seen the market, a change in structure. Market structure was really important and stuff like that. I think you kind of need the same thing here. You need to see the first reaction, the first kind of sign of big strength. Maybe we had it before. I think I'd like to see how this daily candle closes as well. I think that would be quite important. Like I think with this kind of token, I'd be patient. And in the context, because it's probably a Solana token, isn't it? In the context of Solana, which is doing nicely, doing fine, and Slurf, which has also been doing fine, which has also been doing really nicely. Yeah, those Moodang and Billy, they're pretty weak, aren't they? They're pretty weak. Oh shit, no chart. Fuck me. Do I have to do all of that again? What an idiot. I'm an idiot. Not enough coffee. So remember everything I said, and I'll just show you the charts. Fucking hell. Such an idiot. Solana. Okay, good. So Billy, yeah, so this is Billy. Again, look at it. Like I said, you kind of want the first reaction, the first impulsive move. You want to see that first, then you can try and see where it finds support on the first corrective move. That's kind of what you want to see with these tokens. You don't really want to try and be brave and catch the dip. I'd like to see the daily close. If you have a really nice strong daily close and you just close back above the like above there for a strong buying tail here, then actually that could be a good opportunity to catch the lows. You won't catch the absolute low here, but you've got confirmation. You've got some kind of, you see the reaction. It could start with a close above this low here. That would be the first thing I'll be looking for. But even then, it could take a few days for this to turn around before it actually gets out of here. That's your first kind of thing that I'll be looking for in a daily close on Billy. RH, welcome. I don't speak Arabic. Is that salam? Alaikum salam. Okay. Is that alaikum salam? Rayatulam salam. Okay. I can kind of read it, but I'm not really that good. I can speak Farsi to my detriment. Not that great. And then going back to Mudeng. Oh my god. Let me have a look at Mudeng on Radium actually. It's pretty low volume here. I think probably Binance was better. Just because Binance has the most volume. Okay, index. They have an index. Oh fucking hell, what is that shit? There you go. Again, look, this is what I was saying. It's at the right place to accumulate, huh? And potentially we're seeing a little kind of what you want to see back into 50% of the wick, back above the lows, above the daily level. This is kind of what you want to see. If we close like this, it doesn't feel like it's going to go down. It could just range back up to the top of the range for a reaction there. If we have a really nice close, so above 50% of the previous day, then you could actually end up with a smash up, which is kind of what we want to see, isn't it? Or a green doji to continue. Like, that's kind of what you want to see for continuation. But it's interesting because Solana and Slurf are pumping, and this isn't following. Does Solana consolidate and then this goes up? That is possible, huh? Or does Solana go past the all-time high and go to a higher high, and for the first time in a long time, and then all the Solana ecosystem starts to go crazy? Yeah, it's possible. So it is possible we're at the right time and place, but at the moment this is looking a lot stronger than Billy. And then obviously, like I was saying, Slurf is looking really nice. That being said, Slurf is trying to turn a massive downtrend, and yeah, it's been doing quite nice, isn't it? This is looking quite good. Slurf is looking quite good. Off the value area low, capitulation candle. It took the lows of these wicks by a fraction, and we're getting really nice bullish reaction from this area. It's following Solana. I think my target on Slurf is still 19 cents. I'm still targeting 19 cents. It's going to be, for me, there's going to be a big TP, 19 cents. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't think it's likely that we just smash up like that. It's unlikely. It always could happen, but it's unlikely. So therefore I go with the higher probability idea, which is a big TP, and just see what happens next. That's kind of where I'm looking for, what I'm looking for in Slurf. It's hard not to take any profit. I have taken a little bit of profit today just because I saw the rest of crypto had pulled back a little bit, and Slurf and Solana were still riding high, just in case they were leading and then they were ready for a drop. I've been taking profit on Slurf all day long. Like I keep with Slurf, not with Surf, with Solana I always take profit because it moves so nicely, and then you can easily take profit and you can just reaccumulate. With Solana it's really nice. You can take profit, as this is looking really nice. You can take profit and you can buy back in. You can take profit, you can buy back in. Solana is really nice for buying and selling. You can just buy, scale back in, sell when it pumps, sell, scale back in. It's really nice. Solana is a really nice token, to be honest with you. It's easy trading for Solana, but this is looking really strong. So possibly the Solana ecosystem is ready to continue. I think at the rate we're going, all-time highs are on the target. You don't think this is going to slow down, do you? I don't think this is going to just suddenly reject. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it wants to. The Solana degens wants to take it to the all-time high, doesn't it? So yeah. So we have to see how that plays out. The Solana degens, they want to take it to all-time highs for a big take profit. If anyone's interested, probably when Slurf hits 19 cents, probably. There's probably going to be some correlation between those two values or those two levels. That being said, this weekly candle is a fucking bullish weekly candle. It's bullish off the charts. It's a bullish engulfing candle. It doesn't mean it's just going to go up. It could pull back all the way down in one day for a really nice buy opportunity. And you could get that on a lot of crypto if and when BTC hits the all-time high. So I just think be careful when BTC hits the all-time high. When I say when, I'm assuming that it's going to hit the all-time high. It's an assumption. I don't know if it's going to happen today or tomorrow. I feel like it's going to happen today or tomorrow, to be honest with you. I feel like it's possible. I think that's a big take profit, isn't it? The all-time high. You wouldn't... It could squeeze up, but it's a big take profit, isn't it? It's a big take profit. Don't just sit on your fingers and just hope that it's going to keep on going. I know a lot of people are like waiting for higher prices for the bull market. If you're not going to take profit at an all-time high, then you really shouldn't be in this game. It doesn't make any sense. You hit an all-time high, you have to take profit. I don't think you should trade or try to trade if you're not willing to take profit at an all-time high, a previous all-time high. I think that's like the easiest take profit is an all-time high. The easiest take profit is an all-time high. Yeah. And if you can't do it, then stop trading. Stop this. Stop living. Go home. Stop it. You shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be trading. Yeah. If you can't take profit into an all-time high. I think hit like I said, thank you, RH. I think when it comes to ETH, we've come back down. We've come back down for a nice test here. We've had a swing failure of these lows. We've liquidated a lot of people. I do feel like ETH wants to go up again. Okay. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It feels like it wants to. I don't feel like it wants to go down. I feel like it wants to go up. Yeah. I'm not a feely guy, but we've got this daily level that I've marked out. You see, we're coming back above the daily level. It's finding a little bit of support. There's a little bit of a shake out there. If Bitcoin wants to go up now, this can actually do very, very nicely and just squeeze right back up. And the whole of the ETH, the altcoins could move with ETH if ETH manages to push right up, back up to these highs. If Bitcoin wants to go up and take its all-time high, that will be a big take profit. This could be a big take profit back at these highs. This might end up back at the highs, and then Bitcoin could be at the all-time high. You end up taking profit on everything when that happens. Yeah, because then you get the pullback, another pullback, huh? Get another pullback. If we do end up impulsing up like this, you could end up with another pullback. You know, just be aware of these things. The price doesn't just go up in straight lines. You do get pullbacks, especially when you get kind of impulsive moves. It's rare to get an impulsive, extremely rare to get an impulsive move without some kind of pullback. You're thinking there was no pullback after this impulsive move. Well, it was small. But this big impulsive move, look, it's almost corrected all the way back to the beginning of the move, huh? So it's a struggle for people to take profit when they're expecting higher, but how are you going to get higher? You're not just going to go like this and then up. Not on ETH, maybe on a small microcap altcoin which has no liquidity, but not on the big, not on one of the majors. You're going to get pullbacks. You're going to get corrections. It's going to look bearish. The price is looking to liquidate, you know, to the top side and to the bottom side. Effectively, what you're experiencing here is some kind of corrective move. That could have been your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. This could be some kind of corrective. It could be a flat correction like this, and then you could end up with a crazy impulse to higher prices. You know, like this is how the price moves. It doesn't just go in straight lines. So just be aware of that. I'm not giving financial advice. Oh, nice. 3.5. It might go up to 3.5. I think 3.5 is the target for XRP. So just be aware of that. I've talked about TRVL already. RH. I've had a little video stream on TRVL. Is it doing better? Well, no, it's not doing better. Unfortunately, TRVL is struggling. Is this an opportunity? Yes. But am I buying? No, I'm not. It's not right now. I'm patiently waiting to see what happens. I'm looking for a reaction. I'm looking for the market to show me. I need the market to show me strength right now. You either want strength or you want lower. I think the problem with TRVL is that we have a multi-year bottom trend line which has actually against Bitcoin, and we've fallen through the bottom. See that? Yesterday we have a strong close underneath that trend line, and now we're making lower lows. This is an all-time low against Bitcoin. So until we can recover with a sign of strength, we need a bottoming pattern here. If this is the bottom, then we need a strength, then we need a back test, then we need the neckline to be taken, and then that's what I'll be looking for. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in buying this at the moment until I see that. And if that happens, then I could start buying. I don't mind if I miss the absolute peak or low. I could just wait for something like this, and then that would be the beginning of a V-shaped recovery if that happened on this chart. If you do recover that trend line and find support and create a bottoming pattern, then yeah, it could actually go up really fast up to the neckline there for a lower high, because we are in bearish market structure. So you're not expecting higher highs now. You're expecting lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Bearish market structure here is continuing on the higher time frame, unfortunately, which is this kind of monthly time frame. We're in bearish market structure. We had a really bullish month, 3 months, and then we just dropped again. Okay, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So is the inverse chat working? Chat or chart? Like that. And some people will say, well, why are you bearish at the lows? I'm not bearish at the lows. I just want to wait and see what happens. If I get the right kind of reaction, then I can buy. If I'm not getting the right kind of reaction, then I'm just not going to just do anything. I'm just going to wait. Yeah, I'm not bearish. If I was bearish, I'd be selling and moving on. Let me look at Quanx a little bit. So is Quanx struggling? I don't think it is. I think what's happening is that ETH is struggling, and that's having a reflection on certain tokens. Yeah, I like the correction on Quanx. It's very gentle and it's very meek and it's very mild. It's not like a sell-off. So when you're comparing it to something like another token that I just taught, TRVL is selling off. There's no sell-off here. This is a really gentle correction. It's correcting. Initially, I thought this might be a bullish Gartley. We had a little reaction, but actually it's failed. So the bullish Gartley has failed. I said bullish patterns can fail. And so what are we looking at now? Well, I think it's probably going to come down to this little range now. Probably. We're trying to find support. Yeah, that's all that's happening in the price. It is possible that you find support here at this wick low. It is possible we just consolidate here and just get right back up and then we go up. You know, that's happened before. And Quanx likes to do that. It likes to kind of look a little bit bearish before it finally becomes bullish. This is kind of where we're at the moment. I think once you just kind of get back into this local range, then we have a chance to get out of here. A little bit of volume would be nice here to bring this point of control to the lows here. And then we can have a chance to expand up. If we can actually impulse out of this, I think we could get to the all-time high. I kind of want to see us get to the all-time high for a big take profit. That would be a really nice take profit if we can go from the current price at 4.4 cents to 20 cents in one nice major impulsive move to complete some kind of wave 3. Be really nice. You can impulse, take the all-time high for a big take profit, correction, maybe a final wave, and then we have to see. Okay, then we have to see what happens next. Who knows? The problem is that how did I do my EW waves? Yeah, I think if you want a really bullish wave, you have to go 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure, because I think we should be impulsing. We haven't impulsed yet, so I'm just kind of contemplating something else, just because I've seen something on the ETH BTC chart that makes me not bearish, but makes me a little bit more hesitant about the future. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this stream. So I've got a really interesting viewpoint on the higher time frame on ETH BTC. So this is something to bear in mind, and I don't want to scare people. It is possible that that is your wave 1 and we are in a wave 3 of sorts, and this is an ABC corrective like that. We're in some kind of a little bit more of a higher time frame corrective move here, like this, to come all the way down here for one more last drop for the actual big move, the big move. I'll have to reanalyze my Elliott waves, just because of what I'm seeing on ETH BTC, which makes me a little bit more hesitant about the future. And so, you know, I'm bullish on QuantX, I'm bullish on crypto, but I'm not necessarily thinking we're going to go to 200k in the next 2 months on BTC. There's a lot of people saying that, which makes me hesitant. Okay, I become hesitant when people become ultra bullish, and when you got influencers shilling higher prices, and also I don't see Bitcoin going to 200k when retail kind of joins the party in the next couple of months or something because of the Trump effect, or in the next month because of the Trump effect. I think actually that's a really good opportunity for the markets to dump on retail as soon as they get involved in crypto. So I'm very hesitant about this kind of crazy move to the upside just yet. Yeah, I do like my initial analysis. This was quite impulsive, but you can also potentially get an ABC impulsive. It looks impulsive, but it's actually corrective. It doesn't have to hit the all-time high. You could kind of close a shape, get a lower high here, which makes people bearish, although the all-time high would be nice to hit for the first all-time high since a long time. Okay, and then you could end up with an ABC here and an ABC down. You get this kind of crazy ABC down, ABC up, another ABC down. You haven't actually launched your next wave. You're still wave 1 here. This blue wave actually is a bit more of a longer 2. You're still in the 3. It's just that this mid part becomes a little bit more you're still in the 3 of sorts. Yeah, It's big. We're still in it. That hasn't changed. It just means that we had the first one and we have this crazy extended flat correction, which is really bullish because it lasts a long time. Big extended flat. But actually, we're not necessarily, we might not necessarily be in a 3. We might be in the bullish part of the B before we have another ABC down to here. I've got October, so that doesn't actually quite work. I'm not thinking October. I'm thinking May, somewhere around May. Okay. Some kind of ABC corrective. That comes right back to the point of control. And actually that becomes the buy of a lifetime because you've just basically taken it to almost 20 cents and you come all the way back down to 2 cents for the most amazing buy of a lifetime. And then that's when you get the injection of volume, which is kind of what we want, okay, for the actual move, which is this blue free, which is a continuation of this red free, which is the big move, the next free. I'm somewhere in this situation in my mind at the moment, just because of what I'm about to show people on my ETH BTC chart. And it's food for thought. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I'm never 100% when it comes to crypto. I have ideas. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I think it's really important for me to share. And I think you guys who are interested could be the judge, of it. And you can make your own decisions. I'm not 100%. Okay, I'm never 100%. But when I look at the ETH BTC chart in the context of the rest of crypto, Quanex, etc., I see some similarities with the past, which makes me think that actually we haven't bottomed out yet before the mega alt season that is about to begin. All right. And it's basically when I kind of look at my moving averages, which I do look at moving averages. I don't chart with them. I don't really care about them or use them as support resistance lines, but I do care about the momentum that they offer to the market. Yeah. Momentum is really important. So when you're trending up, the price is above the moving averages and they're trending up. When you're trending down, the price is underneath the moving averages and the moving averages are falling down. That's basically how you can decipher the trend. So if you see the price is underneath the moving averages and the moving averages are heading downwards and kind of trending down, the trend is down. Yeah, you wouldn't buy, you'd be looking to sell. And when you see the moving averages is bottomed out and they start to cross and the price starts to come above them, then now the price is trending up and you're not selling anymore, you're buying. Okay, so as you can see with ETH BTC, we've been trending down. Yeah, we've had some mini kind of alt pumps and dumps, that's what's happened along the way. Some alts have shown real strength, like Sui or Solana, or meme coins basically, which is connected to Solana and the Solana ecosystem. But other altcoins, or most altcoins, haven't really shown strength. They haven't really done what we wanted them to do. And fundamentally, that's because ETH has struggled against BTC. Not ETH has struggled against USD, because ETH has gone up with BTC along with USD. It's 2x or something. But against BTC, ETH has struggled. It's been struggling. Okay. And what it comes down to is that we've got this crazy downtrend. We've got the momentum that's really bearish. You can see the momentum is bearish. And now we're finally coming into higher time frame support. Yeah, the higher time frame support is a golden pocket on this higher time frame, and this higher time frame point of control, which is the most volume. The most volume has been traded at this price between ETH and BTC since the beginning. So it's a big level. It's a big level for the price to find support. And because of the confluence of this level, I do expect ETH BTC to find support here. Okay. I don't expect it to just go through. I think we had a reaction. This was a little bit of a front run. That was the first reaction that happened, and we had a little kind of yeah, alts are going to the moon, but naturally the momentum is still struggling with the momentum to fight the momentum, and we're still kind of in bearish market structure here against BTC. Alt season requires ETH BTC to be bullish, and we haven't had that. We had this bullish engulfing candle, which was immediately reversed. So that's our first trap, and then we went down for a little capitulation event or whatever here, and then we had another little mini alt season. But actually all these mini alt seasons are failing just because ETH BTC is struggling, or has struggled. But I see similarities here and here with this past here. So when you're looking at the charts, you see here the price here is coming into the value area low. Here the price is coming into the point of control and this golden pocket. You see here we had the price go up but eventually reject to come back down for a second hit. And I feel like we're here at the second hit. I feel like we're here at the second hit. This is kind of where we are. I see similarities that we're coming into big time support. We've hit it once. In this case, we had a little front run, and now we've kind of finding resistance against the same kind of moving average, and then we're coming back down for another test. And don't forget, at the same time, Bitcoin is showing some strength. Okay, so I feel like we're here coming for the second time. The confirmation for me in the context here would be some kind of bullish reversal type structure or pattern on this higher time frame. On this weekly time frame, it started with a swing failure, and then it was followed through with a higher close than the previous day, and then it was followed through with a bullish engulfing. So you had these kind of conditions that needed to be met for this to then end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green weeks. And that was alt season 1.0. No, it wasn't. And that's the other thing I wanted to share with you. That wasn't the alt season 1.0. And that this is really important that people understand the context of what I'm saying, because people we're all expecting alt season 1.0, i.e. the first one. Well, that might not even be it. Okay, so let me just go back to where I'm looking at. Shit, I've lost it. Here. Okay, look. So here, you see, we're coming down, finding support. Then you have the first ETH. In this context, you have a really nice pump. I guess the context is slightly different because, you know, ETH hasn't been coming down here, whereas here ETH is coming down. There's a slight different context there, but I'm just looking at the moving averages and the situation of how to turn the momentum to the upside. Here you have a reversal, and we're kind of on that precipice of that where people are expecting ETH to pump and alt seasons to begin. That's what people are expecting. And it may happen. You may get this kind of craziness where this goes up and this bottoms out and it goes up. Okay. But what I'm looking for here isn't for this to just go up and up and up and alt season to begin, because after we went up, there was a capitulation event, and that actually was the COVID capitulation. Okay. And so actually this actually against USDT, it went lower, and it basically liquidated everyone who was expecting alt season and was leveraging like there was no tomorrow. They thought it had begun. Okay. Then there was a capitulation. Okay. So I feel like we need to capitulate somehow. And also I feel like a lot of retail, a lot of people are going to get burnt when we top out prematurely because of the momentum, and the momentum of the market has to be turned on this higher time frame. You can't go up when the momentum is still down. it's just not logical. And also the other thing that I'm looking at here is so I'm just kind of being logical about this. Where was it? I had it here. Price action. There it is. So I've got from this pivot high to this low, the price actually, it rallied, but it went to the golden pocket. And then it came back down and it came to the golden pocket. Those were your kind of two target trades in this price action. The whole price action from the bottom to where it capitulated took about 11 to 12 weeks. It was about 11 to 12 weeks. So from where we are now, it would put us like at the end of April, basically mid-April. But don't forget that this dumped 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. It was crazy red. And when you look at this, the final capitulation, it was in the 3rd week, but it just wiped everyone out. And it was this was somewhere in February, but I don't know exactly about the times because I want to see. I actually am thinking that if we do get a pump, it has to go to the golden pocket for a reversal, for a rejection. Okay. And then when it came back down, after you get this first pump, ETH BTC came back to the golden pocket. And so when you see here from this pivot low to wherever it topped out, it came back to the golden pocket. Doesn't matter about the price because that's actually where crypto bottomed, altcoins bottomed out. Okay. And when you look at this chart, that's the beginning of alt season. The beginning of alt season is when you had a capitulation event, but actually what ended up happening was that ETH BTC, after the first pump, came back to the golden pocket and found support. And then the rest was just up, 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 up and away. That was actually the up moment. Okay. That was alt season 1 in this context. And that's kind of what I'm thinking needs to happen now. And the reason why is because when I compare our situation, when I look at the moving averages and where we are, and because everyone is expecting a pump, I don't think we're just going to go straight up in a straight line. I think ETH BTC will find resistance, and we kind of need to do the same thing. We kind of need to turn these moving averages. And then if we do kind of top out in this context at the golden pocket, similar to there, then you have your final capitulation, bam, 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 red, 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 everything dumps. And actually in that context, I think probably Bitcoin will probably drop to 70K. Okay. Nothing will survive 70K, but the context here is that will be the moment. That will be where if the ETH BTC finds support at the golden pocket after you get that move and you get a capitulation, some kind of capitulation, then actually that is when alt season begins. So this is kind of what I'm thinking I'm looking for. If history was to repeat itself and do what happened here happens again, just to get out of it, because the momentum is desperate to the downside. I think it's possible that we do kind of ETH pumps all the way up to some kind of SR flip, golden pocket. That makes sense. People will target the value area high. It may not get there because that would be a really nice logical place for the price to find resistance. Golden pocket, some kind of SR flip, similar to here. It overshot here, but the reality was that was the right place. It was similar to here, these lows, some kind of SR flip type area, golden pocket. That would be the extent of our current move. And in terms of what I'm seeing in the charts, it will get people bullish before you get the final pullback for the big test, the final test. You don't want to be in crypto when that pulls back. That's what I'm thinking. I think once ETH BTC, if we do now get a really nice rally, I'm thinking I need to exit crypto completely there and see what happens and just wait and wait. Now, if I'm wrong, I could be, everyone has the potential to be wrong. And ETH just really does want to just go like there's no tomorrow, it doesn't really matter, because it will still eventually have to pull back. And if it does continue going, you just wait for the pullback and you wait for a 50 fib retracement, and then you just wait for fear to go back right back down to 30 or 20, and then that's when you buy wherever that lands. But actually, just because of the similarities that we're seeing between the situation, and I don't care about the timings of this is January, this is February, and back then, although back then it was January, see, it was January here, this is January here, it's kind of roughly the same times, it's roughly the same place, this is the point of control, that was the value area low, the momentum of the market is roughly at the same place, these moving averages, this 20 and this 50, yeah, and we've hit this 20 a few times, and now we're kind of, it looks like we're trying to bottom out. Similar to here, we've had the first bounce, that was the first bounce, we've had the first bounce, now we're coming back for the test, this is the test, okay. The sign is going to be a bullish weekly engulfing, so that's if people are waiting to know when to enter. If we get a swing failure close here on the weekly, that's going to be the first indication of support. But realistically speaking, we want a bullish engulfing, some kind of bullish engulfing. And so a swing failure is good, but a bullish engulfing or a piercing followed by a green candle would be what I'm looking for the crazy move, okay. And then actually I wouldn't be looking to hold that and hoping that Bitcoin gets to 200k. What I'd actually be looking for is for Bitcoin to go sideways, and while ETH pumps for a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, I'll be looking for Bitcoin to actually top out, like a distribution. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a distribution. I'm not really in the right mind to, I'm not a moon boy. I'm not thinking we're going to go to the moon right now. I think everyone expects it, and therefore I'm a little bit hesitant about the moon. Yeah, just because everyone is expecting the moon, I'm thinking, if everyone expects the moon, maybe we don't go to the moon. Yeah, so I'm a little bit hesitant about the moon. And I'm thinking we get a topping pattern here. Hi. ETH starts pumping. Oh, we have a little mini alt season, whatever. Like an ABC. That's the sell where ETH BTC hits that golden pocket. I don't know exactly about the timings. You end up with a little bit of a change of market structure here or something. Take out the low, then everything gets really bearish, and then you have your capitulation type thing. Bam. All the way down to 70k, wherever. That's basically that will be a nice test of something like that. Fill the gap. I think it's very unlikely that we go up without filling the gap, just because the gap is in 5 digits, and usually when you cross to 6 digits, to 100k and above, you never come back down. Just like when the price went from $900 to $1,000, it never came back to $900. When you go to 3 digits or to 4 digits, we never really came back down. So I think it's probably it's more likely than not we do actually go and fill the gap before we go up. But it's also I think it's more likely than not we come back for a test to test this range, because I find it very difficult to imagine that we're going to go up now on Bitcoin like this to 200k, which is what people are expecting, without having a test. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that right now retail about to join the party and smart money is about to make them rich, because they're going to degen leverage, or they caught the dip at 89k and they've been leveraging like there's no tomorrow, and now all of a sudden smart money is going to let all of the kids in their bedrooms get rich. Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of a distribution here. That's my initial gut feeling. So we get a little bit alt season, everyone's going to be excited. The retail are going to come and pump the altcoins, and everyone's going to be like, oh my god, I'm getting rich. And we're starting to see it, you know, when you get Trump coin go up, and all of a sudden people are going to be, that's part of the play, isn't it? Like, everyone's going to be hearing about Trump coin, and now people are going to start speculating on tokens again. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a distribution here, and we have a little bit of a little mini alt season, but it's not true alt season, because when you get the capitulation, for me the signal is going to be exactly what I said. I want to see this momentum on ETH BTC bottom out properly, like really properly. That would be here. And if we do get a capitulation, and I see that there's a little bit of divergence because ETH BTC is higher but ETH USD is lower, that will be the signal. And then that's when I'll be looking to buy alts, and then the rest is history. Because when you look at history, it's always good to look at historic price action. And remember, this is just a theory, I could be wrong, okay? To me it makes logical sense, but you know, we'd have to see what happens and adopt this is where I'm going to be looking to adopt my strategy if I see some changes that make me think differently. So it's not 100%, but when you look at where the price came the second time, that was the capitulation. It overshot, so you had, this is the divergence I'm talking about, lower low on the USD, higher low on the ETH BTC. ETH BTC coming to support, this is a capitulation, and then it doesn't really matter about ETH BTC then, because the ETH USD just goes up and up and up, and it actually never comes back down. That's your alt season. That's alt season 1. This is the true alt season, the first alt season. You see that? It just goes up and up and up. Okay. The second alt season, in this context, you need Bitcoin to go parabolic. Okay. And for Bitcoin to go parabolic, you need ETH BTC to give its value to Bitcoin. And once ETH tops out here, ETH USD still goes up, by the way, just because Bitcoin goes parabolic. But then what you're looking for is ETH BTC to correct. It doesn't really matter about ETH USD, because ETH USD still goes up because Bitcoin is going parabolic. But that's what you want to see. You want to see ETH BTC give its value to Bitcoin to push Bitcoin up and up and up. You don't have to do anything with your ETH USD or your altcoins, because they just continue going up because Bitcoin is going parabolic. But in that moment, what you'll notice is that altcoins, the BTC pairs of all the altcoins are pulling back, or they're doing some kind of corrective move. And finally, the next alt season, the next big alt season, is when you get, although the whole thing could be just one alt season, but the next big alt season is where this finds support, and then it just goes up. Okay, now that was, in this context, that was really alt season, wasn't it? Because you see here when it bottomed out here, that was January. You see where January of the last bull market, at the end of December, this is where Bitcoin went parabolic here, and then it bottomed out here in January, and that's when we had alt season. It went from January through to the top here, which is the May or April. Here it was May, it topped out in May. Yeah, that was our second alt season. Yeah, doesn't really matter because the alt from the bottom here, the alts just went up, or ETH just went up. But the alt season was, this was alt season 1, and then this was the big one. This was alt season 2. And the context of alt season 2, again, it started from March to, it was a short period of time. It was the moment when altcoins, a lot of small caps and mini altcoins went parabolic. Yeah, basically ETH BTC again had to find support. In this context, it's the point of control. And if I use this idea and correspond it to the current chart, You'll get alt season 1 here when BTC finds support on the golden pocket to reverse the momentum here. That's alt season 1, but that's actually when Bitcoin starts to rally and go up. Then you get Bitcoin go parabolic. That will be when this, similar to here, it crosses the point of control here. This would cross the value area high here. That's what you need. The same idea. Whether it finds support on the value area high or not, eventually it will have to. In the same way that here the price eventually had to find support on the point of control, you'll also need to do the same thing. You'll need to find support on the value area high there similarly, and then the next move will be alt season 2. That will be when we flip the value area high into support, and then that only then can ETH BTC go to the all-time high of ETH, and that will be alt season 2, and that will be your target. Your target here, the top of this is going to be somewhere in above these highs and below these highs, above these highs and below this, somewhere in that range. Your alt season will end, and that's the end of the crypto bull market in my imagination, based on what I'm seeing right now and the similarities that I'm seeing with ETH BTC from this move here, this price action here, and where we are. It's a bit messy, but I'm basing my ideas fundamentally on the momentum having to be turned before we can actually go up. I find it very difficult. I find it extremely difficult to think in the same way it was difficult for the price to go up here because of the momentum had to be turned. This is the 3-day chart. I'm looking at the daily chart. It had to be turned here. Okay, I find it very difficult to think that we're going to go up. This is the day or the weekly. Sorry, I'm looking at the weekly chart. I'm looking at the weekly chart. The weekly momentum is strong to the downside. I think it needs to be turned, and the only way to turn it is with an impulsive up and a back test to turn this momentum. And the same thing needed to happen here, and I'm giving you the context of when the capitulation happened before, and then when that actually was the golden entry for all our altcoins, etc. We still have a nice move up to the upside from where we are now, potentially, if we can bottom out the golden pocket to the golden pocket. That's a really nice move. I think that's a really nice trade. That's why I'm long, okay, because we're kind of in that area. We're in that area where I feel like we should have a second reaction. Yeah, I could be wrong. We're in the golden pocket. It is always possible that, you know, I'm wrong and we just fucking capitulate here. Who knows? Like, shit happens, you know. Like, I don't make this up. I didn't create the markets. The markets do what they want. I just think this is a good area for the price to bounce again and find support, just because it's the right place. It's golden pocket, point of control, higher time frame. We had a first reaction. I like that. Now we're coming to test it again. We've taken the lows. Right now ETH BTC is showing a little bit of weakness, isn't it? Showing weakness. So we're coming in for another test. Yeah. Another test. Look at this. ETH BTC showing weakness. What does that mean? Well, look at that. BTC, it's getting rejected. It got rejected. It tried to get in. It can't get in. Maybe we find support here. Let's see if there's a little bit of divergences here forming. No, can't see any divergences. So see, we got above daily open, lost it. So it's just kind of, we're above the VWAP, so we're still good. But I think we have to see what happens with ETH BTC. And not many people look at ETH BTC or understand ETH BTC. A lot of people are looking at Bitcoin dominance. They don't even understand that. They're just saying we're in alt season. But actually, I think ETH BTC needs to bottom out. This is when we're going to get alt season, when ETH BTC bottoms out here. and we'll know. I think what I am looking for is some kind of, I thought maybe we would close higher than this low here. That would have been nice. We're actually going down. So I think maybe we want to close now. We need a nice close above this low. If we can get a nice close above this low today, that would be really nice. If we don't, then we still haven't bottomed out here. And on the weekly time frame, I really want a weekly close above this low. I think that's really important. If you do get that, then the next week needs to be we need a bullish engulfing, some kind of bullish engulfing, or we'll need a bullish piercing candle here, a nice green candle above that wick, closes above that wick, and then another green candle. And then if you get that, so 2 green wicks after this red week, if we get a close above that pivot low this week, that's good. Step 1. Step 2 would be a green wick closing above that pivot. Step 3 would be another green wick, green doji of sorts, or something. So 2 more green wicks. So green, green, and then we can have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 3 or 4 green wicks. And then that's when you're into your target area, basically towards the end of February. Yeah. And capitulate. Then it's a capitulation event, I think. And if you capitulate on the monthly time frame, you're basically going all the way up there. Nice green bullish monthly candle. So there's so you're ending up with a bullish engulfing on the monthly candle now. That's what we want to see. We want to see a bullish engulfing on the monthly candle, or some kind of bullish reversal. Here, this was the same thing. Look, this is a piercing candle. It's a green candle follow up. And that was the start of the reversal here. In this context, if we were to end up with, on the monthly time frame, it wouldn't be, I mean, it'd be nice to end up with a bullish engulfing here, but actually you probably might end up with a red candle here closing above, like a green wicked candle, and then the next one is a green, the February is a nice big bullish green candle taking us higher. Like, we need that kind of thing to happen. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. That's where my mind's at, and we have to see what happens. All right, sorry, I didn't see what you said, Nicodem. If enough people think it will move this way, they'll probably also react to it, and it also has more chance to do it, I guess. Well, I don't think anyone is thinking this way so much. I think the moon boys are out in force. I've seen some crazy posts about Bitcoin going to crazy numbers. Who is that person that I follow? And I've also seen some other posts which make me think slightly differently. And I'm not basing my information off people's posts. I'm just basically looking at the logic of, I've seen different types of posts too. Who is that person? What's her name? Can't remember her name. This person I follow. I wish I saved her. I wish I saved her post. Because it was kind of what I was thinking. Oh, hey, look, for example, look at this. See that? These are the posts that I think are problematic, because people are longing here, assuming that, you see, they've got these kind of same thing. It just, look, you see, it's got going up and up and up. They say these are the posts which actually can get people into trouble, because they start max leveraging. And while I think we should go up, I think we will probably take the all-time high. It makes sense, because you need to take the all-time high, because that's going to get the world interested in Bitcoin, especially with Trump coming in. And that's kind of where you can get a little bit of a distribution. a distribution event. I'm just trying to find the post, see if I can find it, because it's someone who I'm following. Can't find it. So I follow all kinds of people. Oh my God, it's Trump. What a joke. No, I can't find it. I wish I could find it, because it would really help explain what I'm trying to say. But I should have saved it. Don't remember their name. Dude, I follow too many random people. Yeah. Anyway, you get the point, huh? So I'm not like saying it's gonna happen the way I've imagined it. Obviously I didn't know we were gonna dump so much last night on ETH. I do feel like we're coming into support though, you know, that's the thing. Like, where exactly is it gonna find? I think somewhere here, you know, like, it's the right place, isn't it? Like, this is the right place for the price to find support. We had a reaction. This is the test. It's at the point of control. It's very unlikely that we just go through it, and it's like a multi-year point of control. It's not insignificant, you know, like when in the whole of ETH's existence against BTC, the last time we were here, it was April 21. We've come back for a test. There was a period of price action here. It lasted months. Yeah. So we filled the gap now. The gaps have been filled on this price action. This is the right place for the price to find support. It always could, but I don't expect it to go lower, just because this whole period was a consolidation area, and this is the right area. This is the point of control. It's the golden pocket from one of these pivots, these lows. Maybe lower down, maybe slightly lower. It doesn't really matter. It's an area. And if we're not going to, and also you see these higher time, these monthly moving averages, they're the 50 monthly moving average is actually just trending flat or slightly up, and this 20 moving average is actually coming down. Very similar situation, you know, very similar. You've got this kind of down and then down. You've got this down and then down. Very similar situation. Now we need to find support. We've had our first monthly green candle there. This is the next test. I think this is the test. And then I'm hoping I'm right, because that will just make life easier. It'll make life easier if I'm right. To make a bit of money in this move up, and then we can make a bit of money in the move down, and then maybe we can make a money in the final move, which actually takes us to higher prices. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, is trying to read the market and trying to be on the right side of the movements. All right. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'll put this in the video in a bit. I'm not going to stay on anymore because I got to go. I'm not bearish at all. I think it's more likely than not we go up and take the all-time high and actually push higher. But I do think, as always, I say all-time high is a really nice take profit. I do want ETH to go up, because that would, I don't like ETH going down. I like ETH going up. That would affirm my theory if ETH goes up, because really ETH now has to go up. I want to see from when Trump becomes inaugurated, I want to see 4-5 green weeks up. Yeah. And we'll keep track of my idea. And honestly, if and when BTC does get into that golden pocket that I've been talking about, I'm going to be out of crypto. I'm going to be selling everything like a motherfucker. I won't even care. Yeah. Just because the whole world is going to be bullish as fuck. And that's going to scare me to bits. That's going to scare the life out of me. Yeah. If ETH BTC now just does a real nice pump up there, as we've seen before. Now, what if it doesn't? What if it was a bit weaker than the golden pocket? Then I'll be looking at these weekly candles, and I'll be looking for a weekly type reversal if it's premature. Like here, when I'm looking at this previous price action, we just had expanding candles until we finally had the first candle, the first green candle that didn't expand and close higher. It closed lower. So for me, that was probably the top in this expanding range. And so I'm looking for a topping, some kind of topping pattern here on ETH BTC. Yeah. And actually, interestingly enough, I apologize, my chart's a little bit messy, but interesting enough, when you compare it to the USD chart at exactly the same place, you had the very similar situation. You had expanding candles on ETH, and then the last candle, the candle that actually topped ETH USD, was the last candle that actually didn't close higher. It closed underneath the previous week high. You see that? That was your exit, and this actually affirmed the exit. It was above the golden pocket, so people were bullish, but actually that was your exit, because this look. Now, you could be wrong and it could continue. Okay, so that will be the first place to seriously scale back. If you're leveraged, take profits, and then spot, I'll be looking to just scale right back, and then the next week you can just sell again, and it doesn't really matter. You can scale out. But personally, that's my area of interest, and then I'll be looking for a nice capitulation. The other thing that kind of gets me a little bit bearish as well, and I don't know if people talk about this so often, and they should, is the SPX. I kind of feel like this is a bit high. I kind of feel like we need something like this. We need a little bit of a drop as well. I feel that people are really bullish with Trump, and that kind of makes me think, well, surely then you're going to get big institutions, and that's because it's about exit liquidity for a lot of these big players. And so when you suddenly get a bullish month or bullishness, and lots of people buying because they're bullish on Trump, and Trump is looking, everything's looking bullish, it's kind of exit liquidity for a lot of these institutions, because they can sell without pulling the price down too much, and they can put limit orders and they get filled because the price is trying to go up. And then actually it's an exhaustion of the market, because the buying eventually stops, and then suddenly you get some big shorts that cover some big longs. When the price starts falling, you start getting some shorting, you get longs that get liquidated, and then you get this kind of liquidation type event. And that's healthier. It's healthy for a liquidation event, and it makes sense, because why would Trump buy Bitcoin at 120k or 115k when, if he really wants to, he can buy it at 70k? Yeah, if the US Department of Treasury, whatever, wants to buy Bitcoin, why would they buy it at 120 when they can buy it at 70k? Yeah, that's kind of where my mind is at. All right, guys, love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me, Ian. I don't know if you wanted me to look something, but we have to go now. So this is kind of an interesting theory. I was going over it with my friend yesterday. I find it very difficult to sell, to explain to him. I think I've got him on board, actually. They will panic sell, never look at crypto for the next couple of months. Thanks to this, I'm learning a lot. Yeah, they won't. And actually, that's going to be the buy of the century. And just in the context of Bitcoin, I just want you to understand, for a lot of people, they'll be very scared, which is usually the best time to buy. And we need that. We need a little bit of fear in the market. Fear is healthy for buying. Yeah. Right now we're in like greed. You need a little bit of fear. We like greed because it attracts retail. But in the context here, we lose. I don't know if it's going to be exactly like this, but it's food for thought. We have to see some kind of distribution. Yeah, like this looks like a Wyckoff, to be honest with you. But I don't want this accumulation to be long. I want it to be relatively short, like 2 or 3 weeks, with a capitulation into support. And then the sign of strength here would be a reclaim of this range. So for a lot of people, they won't know how to buy the dip. They'll be scared. They won't be sure. They'll be a little bit panicked. They won't have the confidence. They might think it's going lower. You can wait for the reaction. If you see a reaction, you can start buying. And here, that would be a sign of strength. Getting back into this range would be a sign of strength. So if people didn't want to long down at 70k, they could long back up at 90k. But if the price did manage to get back into this range, that would be a sign of strength. Then you're probably just smashing through. That's probably when the move continues. That's probably when people jump on board, when it makes another all-time high after this capitulation. And then we're probably riding all the way up to 200k or higher. Probably. That's probably how it's going to play out for the next big move that people want to see or expect. That's when we get the first alt season, this move up here. The second alt season, the second Bitcoin going parabolic in this context will be ETH BTC pulling back. ETH, the altcoins will still go up. And then the second alt season will be when Bitcoin basically kind of tops here somewhere. But I don't think I care about the second alt season as much as I do about kind of getting a really nice, because once you catch the alts at the absolute low before the big move, it's all an alt season. The whole thing becomes an alt season. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really care about alt season 1 and alt season 2. You just long this. You just long this to high hill. You could long there. If you reclaim 90k, you could long there. If you go up and back and reclaim the all-time high, you can long again. You can end up longing. That's what you would do. You'd long. You actually wouldn't. I wouldn't be looking to take any profits until I saw the big move to higher prices with a big kind of parabolic kind of type move, and that's actually when I'll be looking to take the big profits, the healthy profits. This is it's a theory. It's an evolving theory, and so let's see if it plays out. I have to go now, but really appreciate you joining me. This is one idea. There could be other ideas. It could play out completely different. I could be wrong. We'll have to analyze it. It doesn't make sense though that we just go up. I think it'd be really weird for us to just go up and up. Like, it's too easy. It's just a bit too easy. It makes no sense to me that we'd go up without back testing this range. And it makes no sense now that smart money would allow retail to become stupidly rich just by longing the Trump inauguration. So definitely. Well, look, you can. I think it's go back to this part of the video and watch this, because this ETH BTC part is really important. Yeah. So if you can go back a half an hour or so when I start doing ETH BTC, I think it's really important. I am going to cut it into a video. So if you're interested, just wait for me to cut it and you can watch it over again. And it'll give you a little bit of insight into my mind of the next 3 to 4 months. Yeah. And it's just an idea. And let's see how it plays out. But really, the idea is based on ETH BTC. I don't really look at ETH BTC much, just because it's not interesting. Yeah. But now it's become really interesting. ETH BTC has become extremely interesting now. And the reason why it's interesting is because we're coming into the point of control in this golden pocket. So ETH BTC is at a really interesting place in the charts. You have to look at it. You can't ignore it. This is like the most interesting part. ETH BTC has been so boring. And now we're actually into the most interesting part of ETH BTC chart. So this is the chart I'm looking at. I'll be looking at every day. I don't care about the ETH. I care about ETH BTC now. This is the most important chart, I think, in my mind, because this is going to tell us what happens next. Yeah. And also, no one really looks at it. Yeah. No one really understands ETH BTC. ETH BTC is an extremely bullish chart on the higher time frame. Extremely bullish chart on the higher time frame. Yeah. Because you have higher time frame bullish market structure, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That was your higher low. That was not a higher high. That was your higher high. And this is potentially down, up, down, up. That's what I'm thinking, all the way back up to the high. Yeah. I'm not thinking down, up, down. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not thinking that at all. I'm actually thinking now that's the equilibrium. This is the golden pocket of this corrective move. Now we go up. Now this is the place, but it's catching it. The hard part is the catching it. Okay. And because of the momentum, you see the higher time frame, the 3-month time frame, the momentum is nicely up. We've lost this level, but I think we could potentially bottom out here. And it's the hard part is the catching it. So I just want to catch it correctly in coordination with the rest of the crypto market. And I don't think we're bottoming out now while Bitcoin is at the all-time high. I think we bottom out with a capitulation type event back at 70k. I just want to make sure that I catch it on this chart here, and I've got that. This is why I'm kind of looking at it in more depth, right? So food for thought. I also did an important update on TRVL. Have a look. I'll probably create a video on that as well. Right, guys, I gotta go. Next stream is going to be probably tomorrow evening, late night and chill, right at the end, just before the weekly close. Probably that's going to be my next stream. And then if there's anything I see in Discord, I'll post it in Discord. And then if you've got anything you want me to have a look at, just post it in Discord and I'll have a look at that for you. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Take care.